Hello and welcome back to the first BROKAKAKA in years, maybe. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Xforts. Good to see you boys again.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming.
As you were doing the intro, Jim, I was like, boom, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. I was doing it in my head.
I always forget there's like a theme that comes in there because I don't re-listen to anything.
Sam
Bam,
would
bam.
die if he listened to his own voice.
Oh yeah, I would shrivel up to a
Has it
husk.
been that long since the last BROKAKAKA?
It
I think
perhaps
so.
may have been. We were doing shout out to Medi. I haven't talked to Medi in forever, but we were doing a Chainsaw Man podcast. I think that might have been the last one that we shot when we recorded
Shot.
with other people.
Everyone's
Shot.
growing up.
Wait, there was a camera on the entire time we were doing.
Yeah, yeah, Sam, haven't you noticed all the love letters you've
No,
been getting?
no, I didn't notice anything. I turned off my
So
DMs.
yeah, we if you'd reached out to me. It's been like forever. I'm just terrible at scheduling, and also life gets in the way all the time, so I just don't think about these things. But yeah, we're so happy to have you. We have a couple topics we wanted to just kind of jump through. Not that this needs to be like a super curated discussion or anything, but big initial news. There's they're making Steel Ball Run into an anime, I heard.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've
I
heard
heard
about the
that
mobile
too.
game.
They're
Oh,
making wait, there's a
there's a
horse
new
mobile
JoJo
game.
mobile game coming. It's probably gonna be a really crappy thing. It'll be shut down in like a year.
I think you said horse mobile game, Sam. I think you meant to talk about Uma Musume,
Well,
the
that's,
new
that's
game
for next
that's
root beer talk, and our actual episode is gonna be all that, Jim, and
Could I
more.
get like a brief of what that is though? Because all I have seen are Northern Lion clips of him playing.
yes.
That's all my only exposure to this. My understanding is that like you pick a like anime waifu little thing and it
Mhm.
races.
Yes, you
Yeah.
train them in one of
Okay.
5 bespoke stats, which are like guts, speed, power, and the lore behind this mobile
We
game.
we did a podcast episode on the anime, like, before we even started doing JoJo,
Yeah,
so
before we did our JoJoKakaka, we used to do a podcast called the Nyancast, which still exists on this channel, and people who care can find the episode. About 8 years
in
ago, I
horrible
think we
quality
did an
probably.
episode. Whenever the first season of Uma Musume dropped, we watched the first episode. And we're like, "What the fuck is this shit?" Um, but so basically, it's set in a world where there are no actual horses, but real horses from our reality when they die, they can get reincarnated as
Oh, wait, that's the
horse.
lore?
This is the real lore, Sam. They can get reincarnated as horse girls. So they are human-ish women. They're always women. They have horse ears and a tail, and there is horse racing in this world, but gambling is forbidden. So because it's Japan. So there's no gambling. So it's basically like what if track and field was like what Pokemon is to the Pokemon world. Like the whole world revolves around the horse girl track and field. But it's actually, so I hate to be that guy, it's actually a very fun gotcha mobile game that has surprisingly deep mechanics that aren't too
Yes.
punishing. I've not spent $1 on it, and
Me neither.
I've beaten it once. I think Sam's beaten it twice.
At least 2 to 3
Quote
times.
unquote beaten it. Like I've gotten a girl
I've
through the
gotten
whole
2
campaign.
endings at least of with
Oh, okay.
McQueen and the cowboy.
And so yeah, to cap the discussion off, the funny part about it is that they're all named after real life horses. So they have mostly English names. Maybe not mostly, but so like you've got Gold Ship, which is like one of the best ones. There's I don't even know, Sam. What are some funny ones? Like there's Special Week. The main girl is named Special Week.
Gold Ship,
I said Gold Ship, the best one.
vodka.
Vodka. There's one named Vodka. There's another one named Bourbon.
But
So yeah.
the weird thing is that, like, they incorporate, like, real lore about the horses, like, into the game, like, the rivalries, like, incidents, like, Gold Ship being, like, the most, like, wild card, like, menace of a horse is, like, in the game as,
So I
like,
So
don't
this
really.
so this is the lore of the horse before it was reincarnated
pretty
Yeah.
of its
much.
previous life. Because I appreciate Jim clearing that up because when I first saw this, I was like, oh, are they like AIs? Are they like robots or something? Like it would seem strange if this was an activity that it was just that all humans were engaging in.
No,
It's
they're so the funny thing too, I looked this up because like I was curious. In universe, the fathers of the horse girls are unknown, but the mothers are known. So they all have mama. They're always like, "Oh, mama told me blah blah blah." But it's like so I'm assuming it's kind of like Jesus, like getting sort of like
Anime dad
born
syndrome.
yeah, born through God, like a sort of holier force is impregnating these
Oh.
women.
So
That's my
this
fan
game
theory.
is like 4 years behind, and it is very funny because I think at some point they add in like legendary horses in history, like Alexander the Great and like Lu Bu's horse Red Hair.
Legendary horses. But yeah,
But hey,
so
Steel
it's
Ball Run could have a horse girl based off like Slow Dancer added in
I would love to
Yes,
see a
is that where you were
crossover.
going with this? That there would be an SBR collaboration?
potentially.
Yeah, I'd love to see, yeah, Slow Dancer. I'd love to see like any of the Steel Ball Run horses show up.
Diego Diego just as an anime girl.
Now we're talking. But so yeah, as this conversation devolved, there really isn't much to go off of with the announcement of Steel Ball Run. I believe the staff has been announced, correct?
Yes, and it's like mostly the part 5 anime staff, which is good because they probably cooked the most, I feel, with their staff and their adaptation.
I feel like too with part 5, it was like the last time we had like proper JoJo with like the weekly releases.
Oh
So
yeah.
I
We still haven't got any
personally,
info on that.
yeah, I would assume that they're probably gonna. If it's, I would just assume nothing's changing. But um, to me, like that era of JoJo feels more special just because it was like it lasted longer. Even though like to Stone Ocean's credit, there were some like incredible things happening, like having Grand Gorilla and so many other. I don't want to say like novice, or I would say people outside of the industry being given a chance to participate in the animation is so incredible, and like that's like amazing compared to just how the anime industry normally is.
Yeah, I don't know much about the anime industry, but that reaching, it feels very unorthodox and something that's sort of like new gen. How within the past like 5 years, I mean, so a few of the people I've talked to would be like, yeah, you just get a DM and the person's like, would you like to work on this anime? And it's like, it's very like informal in that sense, and it's just like, you, they're just trying to get it done really, and it's just like
Yeah.
reaching out to whoever is able to make that possible. But that is kind of cool because it gives like this global industry in a sense where everyone's able to sort of work on a series they enjoy. And like Grand Gorilla is like a good example who is like uh I feel like a big part of like their art journey was through JoJo and like learned how to like
Mhm.
draw a lot through like replicating like the anime style and then eventually getting to work on that was awesome because I remember like legit like maybe 5-6 years ago seeing like their renders of like what a Steel Ball Run anime would look like and
Yeah.
just fan art
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Hmm.
I assume that's where they like find these people, like googling JoJo fan art or something. Just like
And there's people that have done animations on YouTube too for reach
yeah,
out multiple different platforms. So this is really cool, and I'm excited to see. Hopefully, Part 7 continues that stuff.
It's a I'm not going to pretend like I understand the anime industry, especially because I've been watching a lot less of it lately, but from my understanding, it's pretty, I mean, it's not, I wouldn't say super insular, but it seems like it is, I mean, a super, when you're talking about keyframes and like things that wouldn't normally get outsourced, like that seems to mostly be done by Japanese staff, and then there's a lot of like in betweening that gets outsourced to other countries, but these are like keyframe and like key scenes that are being done, which is really cool. And to my knowledge, not really something that's has been outsourced like this in the past. I can't think of any other time where fans and like, yeah, as I said, people outside the industry are working as like a, I don't know, as like an opportunity. It is so cool. But also the one other thing I wanted to say was, I think it was on Trash Taste. It was one of those podcasts where they had they had someone who'd worked in the anime industry. I think they worked for A1 Pictures, which is known for doing a lot of not outsourcing, but it's a lot of contract work. And he was saying that so much of it is not like formalized in terms of there aren't like NDAs really. It's basically seen as like, oh, if you like spill the beans in this, then you're just gonna get like blacklisted immediately. So it was
Well,
really interesting because like in at least in American media, it seems like everything is tied up with NDAs and like everything is so officialized and formalized.
a
to,
lot of
to
them
me
end up.
it
Go ahead.
to me it more so just seems like an efficiency thing. Like if it seems like there wouldn't be any reason to reach out to people over Twitter and messaging them and being like, hey, would you like to work on this and this and this? So it really just seems like they're trying to be as efficient as possible.
Yeah. I mean, the
I remember.
portfolio is right there too.
I remember when Part 5, like they had like members of the staff like on the characters' birthdays or like certain episodes, they would post like special art of like the characters, and it was always like really like fucking cool to see that.
Yeah. Or they were just impressed by the art. That could be one thing too.
And
Yeah.
when you said leaks, I remember the beginning of part 6 was leaked online. Some kid like
his dad's
one of
Netflix
his like
account.
mom or dad's like Netflix who worked there and like leaked all the
I forgot
episode
about that.
titles.
That was
Yeah.
abysmal. That was so
That was-
sad.
That was crazy. Yeah, I mean,
It
like,
was a sign.
but yeah, I mean, overall, like, I've been pretty vocal before that for me, JoJo is basically a manga, and like that's the thing I care about the most. I'll obviously watch Steel Ball Run when it comes out, but for me, there's something so special about SBR, and
Yeah.
I'm worried. It's two things. I'm worried about seeing it done in a way that I guess I'm not. I didn't imagine it in my brain as I read it, and then two, I'm also worried about just not liking it as much as I did
I was gonna say
initially.
the horses, like the CG horses.
Well,
If
I
they
mean
have
that
some
kind of
CG.
goes in the first half of like whatever, like if they use a lot of CG and it doesn't look great, whatever. But I'm just worried about it not like about the story itself tarnishing in my brain because it's been close to a decade since I read it. I think at this point, maybe not,
Wow.
like almost, But yeah, that's just weird. Me being a weird adult now, like a grown up man.
I'm
Yeah,
hoping it's good.
yeah, I'm hoping it's good as well. I know what you're saying, Jim, where it's like I don't think it's possible for it to be. You said like, oh, I just hope it's like good in a sense, but it's like, yeah, I just don't think it'll. I don't even think it's even going to be comparable to the manga, no matter how good or how bad it is. Like, it's just they're always going to be like very two different things because I've been so familiar with Steel Ball Run, and it hasn't been animated. Like before, when I got into JoJo, I watched parts 3 and 4 before I even like touched the manga, and so that was my first
Same,
exposure
yeah.
to it. And then I read parts 5 and 6 and 7. Like
Mhm.
so for me, like going back and like reading part 4, like there's this weird sort of disconnect between like what the manga was and what the anime was. They sort of had this more like homogenized identity of they're kind of like the same thing to me, but like
Mhm.
only having the Steel Ball Run manga and reflecting on it so much and reading it probably like 4 times now and just
Yeah.
knowing what that looks like, I feel like the anime is just it could hit, it could definitely deliver, but I'm just along for the ride however they go about it. Like ideally, obviously, it'd be incredible to have it be the most faithful, the most beautiful, the most incredible season of JoJo we've ever had before, but I hope it doesn't go down like another road where it's like semi fumbled and it's just like this whole like negative subject and everything like that. So
Hmm.
like no matter how it turns out, I'm just here to I'll enjoy it. Even if it's terrible, I'll enjoy it. But I don't think it's gonna be.
They have a good
You
track
know?
record, which is good for the most
Yeah.
part. Like
Because the manga is just so untouchable. I mean,
Yeah.
even compared to like just the art and the scale of it compared to even all the previous parts. So for me, it's just one of those series where like the manga's eternal. It's always there. It'll always be a close to masterpiece. So no matter what happens with the anime, it's gravy. It's
well,
gravy
they already
for
have
me.
Yeah.
the right color schemes, and I want it to be good because I do want to see the part 8 one that's going to be after if it's if they keep going,
Yeah,
which
and
that's going to
I'm
be even
almost like
crazier.
I'm almost like more excited for part 8 right now because
Me
now
too,
that part
actually.
7 has been announced, it's like, oh shit, part 8 is a reality that could happen one day.
Part 8 is the part like we were actually read monthly and reread multiple
A
times
lot
because of
of
that.
Yeah, like a lot
Yeah.
of the Western fandom has like this very, very special relationship with Part 8 that like I would say, I don't know, there definitely were people who were reading JoJo before the anime came out in the West, but it's pretty low compared to how many people jumped on in those was it
Yep.
8 to 9 years that part 8 was running?
2011
It was just like 10. It was 10 years.
Damn.
I know
Yeah.
what you're saying though, Jim, how it's like some people were, but if we broke down a percentage, I feel like it's less than 1% of fans were reading part 7 when it was coming out
Probably.
compared to
Probably.
now. So I
Yeah.
know what you mean in that sense where it's like in the West, a lot of people that got into JoJo around when it was like Stardust Crusaders was coming out. It'd be really damn hard to be even exposed to the series. Unless you're like unless you're older, maybe you're like 40, like yeah, you might have heard something about JoJo throughout your life, but
They read like the really bad translations that existed.
yeah.
I don't want to sound apocryphal because this was a convention that Sam and I went to years ago, but I think it was Joey JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or Wacky Trip. There was a old YouTuber. I don't know if he really does anything anymore. And Kira Buckland And this was before part 5 was animated that we saw this panel.
Oh my god.
And I know it's not crazy to think about. And Kira Buckland did a whole presentation, basically both of them did, but it mostly led by Kira, going through all the parts of JoJo. And I don't want to like speak out of turn, but I think she said that she had people in her life that like showed her JoJo like way before, like I think before part 7 even started. So there were definitely people, and once again, I might be completely apocryphal, but I think like certain area, like they were in California, I believe, and to me it makes more sense that somewhere in California with like the closeness to Hawaii, like the higher Japanese population, I could see things like that penetrating before the breakthrough.
Or they
But
read
yeah, I don't know.
Diesel.
I feel like
Yeah,
you would
me
just have to
too.
be a really big like video game fan. I feel
Yeah.
like that'd be the easiest way to get exposed to it. 'Cause it'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, like this is this Capcom fighter that's based on this Japanese anime or manga at the time. It's Japanese manga. So
My
I
first
feel like
exposure was
that'd
All
be the
Star
easiest
Battle.
way.
That was
Yeah.
my first exposure to JoJo, with going to a friend's house and he had All Star Battle, and then I watched
Mhm.
the anime, and then I read after I caught up to the anime.
And then the
Yeah.
rest is history.
So, but for Western fans, we definitely have that sort of like, I mean, looking back, I don't know how many like people actually were reading Part 8 weekly or monthly when it was coming out,
Yeah.
but like, yeah,
It-
like Part 8 was the first like globalization of release where you had like, I mean, were there maybe very obscure, but like, were there fan translation websites in 2005 like doing Steel Ball Run? Like, I don't know. Maybe.
SBR, I don't
They were just random
know.
people online. Like, you don't even know who they are. They just kind of, I feel like they just dropped them
Yeah.
in whatever translation they had. Or
There
Yeah.
was
It
I'm
definitely
like,
wasn't as organized as like
no,
what we have now.
You see how
there's
old subs look like, where they did like they just copy and pasted in like Microsoft Paint. Like,
Yeah.
there's this older era of the internet that I'm a little nostalgic for, but I was kind of more on the tail end. But there used to be a time before every anime was translated using ChatGPT, and put on Crunchyroll, where you had to like really scrounge to find the subs that you wanted to watch, especially if it was a new show. And there'd be competing subtitle groups that would be like trying to get their episode of Kill la Kill out faster or whatever. Even Kill la Kill, that's like later in the game, but um so I know that there were definitely some small communities doing that. I was trying to find when the Duang dub or the Duang's translation was done, because that was like pretty early on, I think.
I think they mentioned that panel we did go to, where like the thing is like they gave to somebody and they knew the translation were bad, but he didn't want to tell the guy who was translating it, and he just
I think
kept
it was
getting them.
done by like a Chinese speaker, someone who spoke
Yeah.
Chinese primarily, so that's why it was poorly translated. But yeah,
It was Japanese translated to Chinese and then Chinese translated to English.
yeah, I think
Probably.
so.
The end results were only going to be good.
Yeah,
But yeah, not much from there until we get a trailer, which they thought they were getting a trailer July 4th, but we didn't.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's maybe it's just like an American thing, like they don't want to show it. Other shows were given a trailer Anime Expo, but yeah, I thought that was very strange, especially with the lead up on the Warner Brothers channel. They were like, day 5, day 4, day 3.
You gotta show
Or it was counting upwards. It was like, and then it was like day 6, and it was all of them together, and then just nothing after. So, okay.
We gotta show the people the Fist of the North Star Berserk
Yeah.
2016 sequel series.
It was all leading up to the Fist of the North Star. That's what came right
Okay,
after.
we got an announcement for Totoro season 2, but you don't care about that CGI show. You care about Fist of the North Star CGI show.
So
yeah, I thought that was strange, the no trailer thing, but same thing that happened with Stone Ocean. At Anime Expo, we get the announcement for the next event. So I was like, but they gave us a little bit extra. They were like, don't worry, we're gonna show you some extra art, which was cool. Looked more like the manga style, which was appreciated because like apparently everyone hated the key visuals of the first ones they showed.
It's better. It was better than like PNG Jolene that we were like cursed with for like a year. It felt like.
There was just so little to go off of when it was like, okay, Steel Ball Run's announced, and then it was like, here's Johnny and Gyro.
Mm-hmm.
They got the color schemes right, so I'm like, I'm good with this enough. That's all I need to know. The color schemes for them are good.
The color schemes are good, but it's like they give everyone so little, and everyone has to chew on that for like 6 months, and it's like, God, those two images were being picked apart and discussed in the most like noisy way imaginable, and it's like, guys, none of this matters. Like, this art that you're looking at right now will never even be in the adaptation. This is
Yeah.
just like this is just an image that they created to be like, okay, show the people that it's real. Like if you look at Jolene's PNG, it genuinely looks nothing like her.
It
Like
does.
she never looks like that. So you have like people being like, I think the proportion of Johnny's face in this, it's like he doesn't.
There's like
He's
video
never
game
gonna look
trailers.
like this.
Video
It's
game
like,
trailers
yeah.
do that with like teasers or like CGI trailers. Like, this is nothing what it looks like in the game. Like
Yeah, like the only thing really to criticize, I suppose, would be like the designs themselves and the colors. But I mean,
we have to wait to see them in actual emotion. Like you can't
Yeah,
really
that's
say
the big thing
anything.
too. It's like I know one of my biggest pet peeves is when people say like, "Oh, it's animated terribly," and we haven't seen like anything in motion yet.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but yeah, I mean, I'm looking at them right now. Yeah, I think it's fine. It looks like JoJo anime. It is
Johnny
interesting.
looks funny though. He looks like an angry little child.
Yeah, there's something about his like very vividly drawn vagina bones that are just like
He,
incredible.
there are many panels of him in goblin mode, so like it's fair.
But it's
Like
like these images that they create. This is just for the team to have like a general idea of what the style looks like, you
The
know.
concept, basically,
The,
just like
it's
concept art,
it's
yeah.
essentially concept art, yeah.
yeah.
And I was surprised when the staff was revealed. Like in the key art, like I thought Gyro looked so much like a Stone Ocean character, like with
Yeah.
the eyes and everything. But then when the staff is revealed, it's like, oh, we got like the Part 5 staff on here. We got like the Part 5 character designer.
Hmm.
And you gotta wait to be like if it's the environment and like how the background visuals are gonna look like. 'Cause that was like a big thing of part 4 where that did like a huge like boom like plus on it was like the background stuff of like the part
Yeah,
4 anime.
the color choice in general in part 4 is just still to this day, I think I'm so spectacular.
Yeah, it's immaculate. They knocked it out of the park with that one.
Yeah, it's just like it's so pleasurable to just like put it on and just like look at it. But yeah, so very interested to see like what we're looking at in terms of a release schedule. Like obviously like the Stone Ocean had the batches which were much loathed by everyone.
Yeah, I'd be
And
surprised if they went down that route again. I'd be surprised if it's even a Netflix association this time.
I feel like Crunchyroll might try to consume that, try to get the dibs on that.
it's just
I mean,
weird, like
that was what, like Stone Ocean was legit 5 years ago. Like how
Oh my
long are they
God.
paying for like this Netflix JoJo collaboration? You know, like
Netflix like wasting money, so
yeah, Netflix
there was
has gone like pretty anti-animation, not anti, but
yeah.
they've really cut back their care on animation since then. So
There was a massive upside to it though, because it's like, okay, you don't get a weekly release, you get a batch release, and I almost want to say the simultaneous like 4 dubs was like almost a fair trade-off for the batch release, because that was like, at least for the shows that I've seen, like I feel like that's only sort of a recent thing like this decade where it's like, okay,
oh,
the show is
definitely.
being simul-dubbed, where it's like episode comes out one week and then the next week the English one comes out, so they're being dubbed like right as they're coming out. So that was like a very new thing, and especially for it's like, okay, 12 episodes of Stone Ocean came out and you can watch it in German, you can watch it in French, you can watch it in English, like that's all done. Is like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like that is almost worth it to not have weekly. But
I thought the same thing for the Ava
ideally like a
launch,
simul
too.
dub would be sick.
Yeah, when they dropped all of Ava on Netflix, they had like brand new German dub and like I just think that's really cool. Especially German is like a really interesting audience because they really like to watch things in their native language.
It's just like a globalization of the series, which is nice. It's like it's for everyone to have right now, and which I thought was cool.
It's a series about like a world spanning journey, so it's kind of great to have that.
When's the Japanese dub?
I'm excited to hear what the English dub actors are gonna be. Like, are they gonna try to have some part 1 dubbers come back to try to make it do a better job? I feel because the early dubs
Johnny
were
just has a British accent inexplicably.
number 1 from Kids Next Door was Joseph. Yeah, like I think Johnny Young Bosch was Jonathan, but he tried to do a British accent.
Yeah, he was. He did it. He didn't try to. He did a good one. I like the part. I
I
like the
think
part
you
one
would get him
dub.
back and just do Johnny Young Bosch voice, just for Johnny. So
But yeah,
Yeah, it's curious
so
for the Japanese voice actors. I doubt they would just bring back Jonathan's voice actor and be like, "Oh, do it differently." I think that's gonna be all new people.
oh yeah, I
yeah.
don't think they brought back like most of the people that were like had dubs in the fighting games first. So like, Jolene was changed and a bunch of others. So, but yeah,
This is a total random tangent, but I just thought it'd be fun to go into. Sam and I, was it 2 years ago? Sam and I both went to Japan, and we both so separately. Like we didn't go together,
Oh, interesting.
but we went and visited a friend of ours, just at different times, and we both went to the JoJo bar. We got to go to the famous
yes.
JoJo bar, and it was fucking cool, and it was also hilarious because like I'm dissecting the menu because like all the characters that you'd expect are like they go part by part, and
They don't tell you
like
what half the drinks are either.
that's the problem. So it's like, all right, I guess I get to order the Diavolo, and I hope that it's something that doesn't have hot sauce in it or something.
The JoJo bar is sick. I've seen so many like different creators being like, "I'm going to the JoJo bar," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll see what it's like now." And this is the question I have for each of you guys. Do you remember the episode that was playing when you were in? Because I know they have on like the back TV. It's just
Yes.
it's the whole show just on loop, and I'm like, I always think I'm like, if I went to the JoJo bar, what part would it be on? Where would it be?
I do remember when I
I
was there, it was part 4 was playing. It was specifically the episode where Shigechi dies, where he gets killed by
Oh
Kira.
shit!
oh, I had the episode where Foo Fighters died.
Oh no.
I was drinking so I was drinking my Johnny Joestar, and then there was a couple other tourists at the bar, but one of them was like unwrapping his Power Chainsaw Man figure like on the bar, like at the bar,
Yeah,
like
there's
on
a
the
couple of
front of
those.
it, which is very funny. But also, my sister was with me, and she like doesn't know anything about JoJo, but she got like the Pro what the Pro Jam, which is like the what's it called?
It was
It was like the mozzarella tomato.
what's it called? A caprese salad.
Yes, and she like devoured, but it had like the little Pro Jam guys on the plate and everything. Like it was awesome.
The staff were so cute. They would come around and they had like a
Jay.
little remote controlled, or I don't know if remote control, but it's like a little like Kira tank. Like it's a what's it called? Sheer heart attack.
I
And
didn't get
it's
any of the props sadly when I went.
oh, that's a shame. They came over and gave us like everything. They gave us the little sheer heart attack, and he like runs around on the table. They gave us a stone mask, and like
I didn't get
they were just so cute, and they come over and they ask you like who's your favorite character is, and it's amazing if you ever get to Japan. It's like it's so tiny though. Like I think my bedroom might be bigger than the entire bar.
Oh, yeah.
But it's so yeah, it's the kind of thing where like it's a really
There
tight,
you go.
intimate environment. Oh, Sam actually dropped some pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just freaking cool. You can tell these people fucking love it, and they do like the aura barrages when they're doing the shakers and stuff.
How long do you have to work there until you absolutely hate JoJo? It's my question. Like,
I was thinking that too.
maybe you
'Cause
work there for 6 years, and it's like every single day the show is on nonstop in the background. It's like
I think
you
the
gotta
the
get sick of it.
the saving grace is that I think they're only open like Fridays and Saturdays, so it's
Oh,
a real
okay, yeah. Very
like the
part-time
staff.
thing.
Yeah, the staff I think is like just super dedicated. There was an older guy who was the owner, I believe, or who I guess was the main manager, and he spoke with us as we were leaving, and he was basically just like, "Hey, where are you guys from?" And like we chatted with him a bit. His English was like super broken because he's Japanese, and most Japanese don't speak very good English, which is like to be expected. Um, but it was so charming to just because we spent like a ton of time there. Obviously, I'm a fucking JoJo nerd, so
That's cool though that you like, want to talk to you guys.
Yeah, I think we
yeah,
had
and
other people in my bar with me. Did you have other people in the bar when you went, Jim? Or
yeah, mostly gaijin like me.
okay, yeah, I don't know.
Mostly
They didn't
foreigners.
really chat up too. They didn't really chat up too much with us, but
They were
And that makes a
terrified of
lot of
you.
sense
I
that
guess
they're
so.
only open 2 days a week. That seems very sustainable.
Yeah, definitely.
The
And
staff.
it's literally like it's just full to the brim with like figures, and my favorite little detail was the bathroom, which is literally just like a tiny closet. The the toilet is like Bruno themed.
The
So they
zipper.
just yeah,
Mm.
they just got a little Sharpie and drew the little like teardrop logo all over the it was very charming.
I think they only had like even though part 8 I think was done by the time we went, like
It was, yeah.
they only had like half of part 8 for
It,
drinks. I think up to Damo and Vitamin C, I think.
yeah, I was joking that they literally had up to the best parts of part 8. They had no Toru. Um,
They hate the
The
doctors.
one review they just throw like straight up like rubbing alcohol in your face.
Ooh.
But I
but
guess
yeah, I just wanted to share that little anecdote. Thought it was funny.
One day I'll have my own JoJo bar experience.
Japan is like one of
it's
the
right up to
coolest.
Nakano, which is like a great like trip experience to go anyway. So
I have like
it's a spot.
3 out of country trips I want to go to, and like Japan, I would say like I want to go to Japan really bad, but there's like I want to go to Hawaii first while JoJoLands is happening. I want to do like a fun little adventure where I don't know, just maybe like make a video out of it, go to some of the places, just go to South King Street and
Find that
Get
one
one
like
of those
chicken
delicious
restaurant.
burgers.
yeah,
find
find Raising Cane's at whatever that street was, I forgot it, but it's
That
on
food
like,
court.
yeah, the food court by the
Get-
Kona airport.
Get pulled
So
over by cops.
yeah, and then of course get arrested. So I want to do a Hawaii trip for sure. And then after that would be Poland. My girlfriend has like family there that she has been like wanting to visit for a long time.
That's cool.
So
Ooh.
we have to do like no way I'm going to Japan before Poland. She would definitely be like, no, we have to go to Poland first. And then Japan would be like third on. Hawaii would be first. It'd be like, let's take a vacation. She'd be like, okay. And then Poland would be for family, and then Japan would definitely be like the last one on the list. But I do want to go so bad.
I've traveled a bunch. I studied abroad when I was in college in Europe, which was amazing. But I've been to Poland, and I have to say it's wonderful.
I want to go there some point.
Not going to make you dox where your girlfriend's family is, but
no, she's been there a handful of times. It tells me about it. Haven't been. Looking forward though.
Yeah, I had a wonderful time there. I went to Krakow, Warsaw, which actually Warsaw was okay. We went there during Easter though, so everything was closed. It's not really fair for me to judge. But Krakow was just gorgeous and like amazing. And also went to a place called Breslau, or in Polish it's called Wrocław. And yeah, just gorgeous. But
was Poland where you studied abroad, or was it just in
no,
Eastern Europe?
I studied abroad in Austria. So I was in a city called Graz, which is the second biggest city in Austria. But when you're in Central Europe, it's so easy to just get around using the train system. So we did like a little me and my buddies there who were all like mixed. We're all just like other foreigners, like Germans, French. We went to all over Germany for spring break, and then ended in Poland. And at first I was like, Poland? Like, why are we going to Poland? And then I ended up having just like I had a wonderful experience there. The food was amazing. As a like American, and also someone who's getting paid in euro. Oh my god, it was so cheap. It was so affordable. Yeah, so much of Central Europe is and like semi-Eastern Europe is just so cool, and just it's so out of what you normally expect, at least what you get here in America, that it's amazing to explore the cities.
On my list at some point too.
But I will say, Japan is the one place that I've traveled after my entire life of traveling, where the second I came back home, I was like, God damn it, I want to go back.
Really? I feel like after a week in Japan, I'd be like, all right, let's go.
There's so much.
There is so much, but it seems so like go, like in Japan.
It is.
You know?
But yeah, the first time it was like all Tokyo.
You've been twice. Yeah, Sam's been
I've
twice.
been twice. I've been and I went to Osaka for a little bit of it, and Osaka is like way cooler of a vibe, like way more of a personality, I feel. Like, cause we were going down like this one strip in Osaka. There's this like bunch of bars. There's like the bars also have windows so you can go and get takoyaki. Like, just like it's like so cool. And there's just so much to freaking do, man. Especially like, go to like, onsen. Like, I go to a location like, oh, I've been here because I played Yakuza, and like this is like the fucking Majima area I go in Yakuza 0.
Yeah,
I'm like, I know that giant crab.
going to an onsen was like one of the best experiences ever.
Yeah.
If you're unfamiliar what an onsen is, listener, it's basically just like hot spring. And I went to an onsen like the foot of Mount Fuji, and it was cloudy like all day except like as I was getting on the bus leaving, and I got a perfect view of Mount Fuji. It was good. Yeah, I don't want to make this like the travel log talk. It's not
I
very
hear the
interesting.
perfect view of Mount Fuji is rare though. Not everyone gets
Yeah,
that.
I got one on
Sam was-
my
yeah.
on my bullet train ride back to the airport. That was like
Oh,
got
how
through a
amazing are
window.
those things? I
Oh,
want
they're
those.
so convenient because we just took it like because we took the bullet train to Osaka and then we took a day trip to Hiroshima and it was just like a nice trip. Like we got a bento box just to eat for the way there. It was like just a really awesome like pretty awesome ride. So convenient, so smooth. Like I can't recommend it.
I'm actively gripping myself to not try and just do Place Japan things for the next 20 minutes, but the convenience stores like were life changing. I fucking love the konbini so much. Okay.
The quality is like way like better and healthier. It's all like super fresh, right?
Yeah, it's funny because our one friend who he was the guy that we both crashed with when we were over there. Well, actually, no, Sam didn't. I did.
No.
Oh wow, Sam uploaded his Fuji.
That's like Mount Fuji pic I got from like trying not to like go over people or get a window shot.
But it was my friend who was over there. He was over there for in Asia teaching for a while, and he said he missed Wawa so much because we're in like suburb of Philly, like we're South Jersey, so Wawas are everywhere. But when I was over there, I was like, how can you miss Wawa?
I
There's
know.
so many different things. Like there's so many nice, and like even just getting like the rice balls, like they feel so fresh too, and like.
And Jojo's from New Jersey. He never said he missed Wawa yet.
Jojo is from New Jersey. That is true.
Unfortunately, I don't think Araki did his on-site research in New Jersey.
No.
Otherwise, Wawa would be in the manga.
He would look at Atlantic City and like that's good enough.
He'd be if it was really, he'd be bitching about Wawa every 20 minutes.
He was the
best.
The
only, at least in my opinion, the only good like gas station food you'll find in America is Sheetz. I love Sheetz.
Oh, I love Sheetz. Whenever I travel to see family in PA, I love going to Sheetz.
Yeah.
Yeah, food. I love food. I love putting food in my body. It makes me feel good.
Yes.
I love gas station like fast food. I had Wawa on my way home to work to come here today.
Fuck yeah. But okay, speaking of JoJo, to take a little tangent, you were saying that the last time we talked, it was like really early in part 8. It must have been, or sorry, Jesus Christ, part 9. It must have been as the initial Rohan stuff was wrapping up. So we're already what 26 chapters in? Yeah.
Something like
that. It was July 2023 and it started in February. So
damn.
It was around like chapter 6 or 7. But yeah, it was like right at the end of that arc. We were fighting cats, I think.
Yeah, we had no idea what was really going on.
Yeah.
Wow.
We had no Charming Man.
No Charming Man. So how do you guys feel after being like it feels like very familiar now? I feel like that first year was all very exciting because it's like anything could happen. Like we're gaining cast members, we don't know who's good and who's bad. But now that we've definitely like settled in and it's gotten we're more familiar with it, like does it still have like a sort of magic that you guys are like, you know, very excited about all the time? Or is it more just like it's there, I enjoy it? It's just become like more familiar.
I think we've been really, I've been really enjoying it recently because not like it's not a mystery. I had to get it into your head. It's like, you know, not a mystery part anymore, and it's like, you know, a heist now, which is very fun. And the stand of the crew is like all very non-combatant, which is really cool. Like, and like we had the fight, which is like he's fighting a guy with a gun, and his power is like to like affect the bullet that he shoots out. So it's just like it's been like, very unique, and I've been loving it. Like
Bobby Jean was an interesting.
I love Bobby days.
I was like, God. Once that arc ended, I'm like, that was certainly a stand.
Well, not only that, we have like another guy who just uses like an Uzi, and he also can just inflate people, and it's just like a guy's using like CQC with his super fucking like muscle controls, and it's like it's so fun.
Yeah.
The pacing, I would say, feels like it feels like there's not really like a break time, because when we're first getting into JoJoLands, you're like, okay, like we're learning all of this, but then like you always got to keep in your mind like there's gonna be a part where the stakes are super low. like I'm thinking back to JoJoLand, and it's like imagine reviewing JoJoLand monthly, and we're doing California King Bed.
Yeah.
We're doing well, I guess Born This Way is really interesting. That's actually a sick arc when you like, are getting to Holly and everything. But like those lulls of JoJo parts where it's like Tomb of the Boom and like all those like very early low stakes where it's a minor villain, it's just we're gonna be done in like 5 or so chapters. So I was expecting that for JoJoLands and being like, okay, plot's gonna set up and then we're gonna lull for maybe like 30 chapters or so, learning more, and then we like reach that midway point where it starts ramping up. But it's like
there goes
where we are, where we are right now doesn't feel like JoJoLand 26 or Steel Ball Run 26. Like it feels like, I don't know, if you showed me these panels and these chapters out of context, I might guess 80, 70. Like I might guess that we're really far forward because it's like it is so intense and we're like right there at the supposed finale of the part. We need to steal the 50 billion. Like we're literally we've been moments away from doing that this entire arc. So it's
it's unique, hanging on a signature.
Hanging on that signature. So it's very interesting to see that level. It's the highest stakes of highest stakes we've ever been in the part at such like a ordinary time of it, 26, where usually it's when the part like lulls a bit.
And we also
I was so curious when you said this doesn't feel like Steel Ball Run 26. And I looked it up. This is Pork Pie Hat Kid. This
is Pork Pie Hat. Exactly. This is the territory when like set up, boom, exciting. Then we slow it down. Then we like do all the minor stuff.
There's a goblin boy with a wire coming out of his mouth. Like, what are we
kind of doing the shonen thing where we're giving we're giving Johnny his like powers and he's learning how to use them. But with this, it's like, no, we're just like ramping full steam ahead. I want to jump back to your question, your initial question of like, is the magic still there or is it normal? And I think that's a really great question because like, honestly, for me, I don't like where I was so anticipating early chapters. I kind of forget what time forgive the expression, for what time of the month it is. And I'll be like, oh shit, it's like the 18th, or it's the 16th. I'll work at a JoJo soon, and it becomes this thing that I like kind of, it's in the back of my brain, but I always look forward to it, and I always know that when I sit down, it's going to be like a nice like meaty meal. It's like always a really great satisfying chapter, and I just really appreciate that, especially coming off of like the end of Part 8, where every chapter was like, what's the reveal? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, I'm just scouring everything. But now it's like I feel like I can sit and really enjoy seeing how Araki's is just creating the story.
Yeah.
Like, these factions, the kind of factions that we think we might be having, like who's gonna be aligning with who, like. I guess maybe in hindsight, like maybe in the future will change, like what Howler's actual role will be after, like,
Oh my god,
is he actually the main villain?
I'm Howler maxing, dude. He is like the most interesting character to me in like such a long time, and I feel like such like a chump each time I'm reviewing a chapter too, because I feel so silly sitting up here being like, oh my god, we're like face to face with the main villain. What's gonna pop off? But it's like I know in retrospect, I'm gonna look back on this and be like, oh, we were nowhere near the end. Like, well, this is so low stakes. But it doesn't feel like Pork Pie Hat Kid. It like, which made me have like this crazy theory where it's like, dude, what if JoJoLands is like 45 chapters? Like, what if it is like a weird you have that expectation of it's like they get longer. Part 7 was longer than Part 6. Part 8 was longer than Part 7. But like, in order for Part 9 to be longer than Part 8, like Howler might be a distant memory by the end.
A part of me thinks like this could be like, oh, it's Akira again, but we have like a first meeting with him and then they break off and then they reconvene because we know Howler has a stand.
Yeah, this would be like Howler being like Otuishi from Part 4, like where we think we know what the plot's going to be, we think we know, and then there's like this massive twist, and it's like, no, we're leaving Hawaii. Like we're just doing something entirely different. It would have in order for Howler to get removed from the picture and the plot to open up beyond that, like shit would have to get crazy.
It's like the Katamari style. Like
one of those sailors is Gappy would have to be like a crazy like reveal. Like
I do think that's a really good idea too, because like really ultimately we're talking about like billions of dollars already. Like it can only get bigger, right? Like it can only get like international, like
Well, you get to a certain
countries.
point where it's like they're talking about the money so much, the money like becomes inconsequential almost. It's like even at this point in the story, I'm like, I get it, 50 billion, but like it's just
Yeah.
so familiar.
Oh, I think the Shueisha colors came out also for like the Howler intro chapter with like his color scheme and like his stands like a green thing. It's
Yeah.
just like Shrek.
Yeah, let's not make it black like the lava rocks and like the land it's based off of. Let's make it green.
I think Howler's colors are like
Imagine
purple
imagine
and
if it was
green.
like that lava rock like dark where the lava rock's colored. Like even the back of the stand looks like the rocks on Hualala, but they're like, no, make it green. I don't care. I had like a little bit of a fussy tweet about the green howler thing, but like in complete honesty, like I do not care about the colored skins whatsoever, and I think it is very the people that genuinely complain about them and are like, get upset by them, that's like nonsense because like many things, like we have the manga, like the colored is just gravy. It's something extra. We
It
get
always
it for free.
changes.
It's totally fine. Like it is what it is. The only negative to it is that sometimes they might for like video games and anime
Eyes
adaptation
of Heaven.
they sometimes use those like default color palettes.
Ugh.
So like Shueisha sort of has like more influence than they might realize.
The Johnny Gyro colors of Eyes of Heaven are like the worst colors they could possibly pick.
Yeah. He was like green in Eyes of Heaven, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
It's been
they
so
were
long since I've played.
it burned your eyes when you like played them.
It's for me, it's always like an inherent downgrade, just because whenever Araki does like a color spread or whenever he does a color chapter cover, I'm always just like, oh my god, this guy is just he's operating with a different set of tools than like most people.
I'm trying to look up, like, find a picture of it, and all I keep seeing is Araki drawing the Rurouni Kenshin quote unquote tribute.
I just
I
always
think
think
they
of
rip it like sometimes like with Jodio, his
There it
color
is.
palette is like perfect. His colored one in Shueisha, like it suits him like 100%. That's like Jodio's colors, but for other characters, they just like make weird decisions.
Here you go, Jim. I'm gonna send the colors in the Discord chat.
Yeah, it's funny you were talking about like
There you
Twitter, and I know that I have really been off social media. Oh wow, everyone's here. I've been off social media for a bit. I'm like on YouTube, obviously, because I'm like a nerd, but or like a weirdo millennial. But I haven't really seen like any JoJo discourse lately, so that's really funny to me to hear that there's all this talk. Yeah, why is he green? Why did they pick green for that guy?
I don't know. Money?
Jodio's colors fucking rule though. Those are really good. And I think that's similar to what Araki had done on the one of the first covers. Oops.
Yeah, the
I
first
just
Ultra
closed
Jump
Discord.
cover.
Tingle Usagi,
Yeah, I mean they just had they used Araki's palette because like we saw Jodio colored pretty much before we saw him in black and white.
Yeah, Jojo's
Yeah.
color scheme is great. I love it.
I
But
do
like, yeah,
also want to shout out our Plume Moth, who is my friend who does all the colors for our thumbnails. I think he does a really good job at interpreting sort of Rocky's color scheme and sorry, color sensibilities, and I really like those. So to me, when I look at these characters, or when I think about the colored version of these characters, I'm thinking about the thumbnails that he's created rather than like the Shueisha scans, because these are the first times I'm seeing the Shueisha scans.
Jodio's design in general though is when the part first came out, that concept of like what would a new JoJo look
my
like was
God.
super foreign to me. And I
Yeah.
loved the design. I was like, this is like genuinely one of my favorite designs in the whole series. And like 2 years later, I still think he's one of the best.
I
His
think
design is so good.
him and Dragona's like designs are like amazing. I love both of those so much. Like,
Yeah, I love Dragona. Jodio is really good.
like
He kind of grew on me, I would say, more so than
Do you
at
not
first.
like it
I
at
didn't
first?
even know how to like what you're saying. Like I didn't know how to process like a new like JoJo. Like it was like impossible to even imagine.
we've been so
'Cause
like sailor pilled that like we didn't know what a new
Exactly.
JoJo could possibly look like.
But it in a like colors aside, like even just looking at like the actual like design of it, I think it's really it just stands out so much. But it uses like familiar elements in just really good ways. It's just it's good. He did a good job with that one.
But I think we said this before in an episode when like I mean you brought up where like most of our episodes are just like not as long as like part 9 is not like a theory crafting a part really. Like there's nothing to really theory craft. Like
Especially like last
I don't-
chapter was such a fight. Like all these, like I always
Oh,
joke,
yeah.
like during action chapters, like, all right, well, I'm just gonna be narrating some punches for a couple minutes. Like,
and like I don't know, maybe it's better to not, like, not get your hopes up with like reveals because we did and we didn't get some of those reveals in part 8, and like a lot of people were like didn't like that we didn't get some like character returns or like
yeah,
things that get resolved or stuff that was resolved not as well as we wanted it to be or like
but
as we
wasn't it fun?
theorized.
But wasn't it fun to play around and be goofy
Well,
in my
well,
bedroom?
listen to our like hours long spoiler cast of part 8 at the end just to see like if it was fun or not.
um, I'm sure the Xforts, I'm sure you can relate, but like sometimes, like especially your videos, you probably get comments on like pretty old videos sometimes, and I'm sure there's some humor to someone commenting on a video that's like 5 years old, like 8 years old. I love when people comment on like the big 6 hour or whatever part 8 spoiler cast we did, because I'm just like, ah, yes, you're going through it too now. Like people will be like just finished part 8, listen to this now. There's something really fun about that.
Like 90% of the things we said are just amounted to nothing.
Yep. But it was
Like
fun. But it was
or
so
that
much
we stuff that we didn't
fun.
like we just didn't understand.
Yeah, I see what you
Yeah.
mean though with part 9. It definitely is not a mystery like part 8 was, which had like more potential in a sense of like maybe not so much near the end, but it was definitely God, reading JoJoLands from the beginning would have been incredible. I picked up like around Blue Hawaii, so there was still like mysteries to unravel, but just like the whole Josuke identity would have been cool to see happen monthly. But I'd still think with part 9, like that lava rock is something. Like that is going to be like the final whatever like Tusk Act 4 level thing when we find out like
Mhm.
what that is. What caused that, what it really means. The whole mechanism bullshit, like that's still
I
very
keep thinking
interesting to
about
me.
that. I always think about that all the time. I'm like,
Like,
yeah, he's cooking with that. I started to freak out when it started to disintegrate though in that one recent chapter, because like I guess there's this idea that if the lava rock is used enough that they start to I guess lose that ability and they break apart. So I was
Yeah,
like,
they have like a
no.
finite amount of value they can.
or like they get the land and then they have to go like harvest more land.
Yeah, I feel like that's the crazy thing, because like to me, them going to the actual land feels like a climax of the story kind of thing. But if like it seems very likely that somebody will be going there very soon if they want to try and utilize the rock. Like I could see Howler, say he
God.
gets out of the current situation, I could see him rushing to the island trying to get the next, like to get one more, just because that's the only way to get the upper hand is to have a rock. And
Yeah,
if this one's breaking, then
there's like a bit of like plot hole stuff. Not plot hole because we don't know what the plot is yet in its entirety, but it does seem strange the whole like lava rock situation because Howler knows that his grandfather, great grandfather, like found the lava rocks in Hualalai and like that's their land, that's where they come from, and he's never looked for another one since. And Rohan found one in like a week.
found
He found
two.
two.
He
found
found
two.
two. He found two. And first of all, Rohan went there and like knew exactly how to find
God.
them without like anyone telling him nothing. He just
Yeah.
went there and started throwing money around, maybe hoping something would happen. And so he
Fucking
eventually
around and finding out.
he eventually finds two of the lava rocks.
It's
And
crazy that he just brought Rohan into like the SVR verse. Like it's
Oh
just
yeah.
crazy to me that he just did that and made him like, oh, I'll just write a one-off like on a hiatus month about
And
this one.
Rohan tells us explicitly, he says those are the only two that exist in the world. So they're the only two left. And it's like, dude,
How
there's
do you know
no way
that?
you can know that. Like you just have you been digging in the mountain?
You're
But
like, this Rohan only tells truth and this Rohan only tells
yeah,
lies.
maybe he meant that within like his searching, those were the only two he found. But
That makes sense.
it seems so dumb that Howler doesn't have a lava rock. He lost his. Like
Howler's not
he
the
does.
smartest person.
He does
either,
not
though.
have one. He used to have a lava rock. He doesn't have a lava rock anymore. At least he hasn't shown his lava rock yet. But we
He
saw
barely-
that the
he
lava
barely
rocks
killed
that were
anybody.
left in Letrado's will had like crumbled away to nothing. So maybe he's just like, oh, that's all there was or whatever. But like Rohan went to his land that was like fenced off and restricted for some reason
Yeah.
and found them. It's like, Howler, why aren't you collecting these?
There were
It's
two
kind of an interesting idea that like maybe because the original like stored lava rocks that were stored in those in the treasure chest, because it's broken, it's lost the magic. And now like the weird law of equilibrium in the universe is trying to restore this power by creating more rocks. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
maybe it makes more. That's maybe
Hmm.
it. It just seems very much like a don't think about it too hard
Oh
type
yeah,
thing.
it's JoJo. Yeah, it's JoJo's
And,
Bizarre
like,
Adventure.
We've had Magic Land before in both the parts before this,
Uh-huh.
so like that's all you
And
need to explain it.
previously moving. So previously the Magic Land used to move. So I wonder if we're gonna see this Magic Land move.
Maybe, or maybe this Magic Land grows a magical fruit combined. Who
It
knows?
is interesting too, trying to like Johnny's whole stand was so like perfectly attuned to the spin and just everything about it made so much sense. But compared to Jodio's like purple rain power, it's not like a 1-to-1. It's not like you
Purple
can
Rain.
see him.
November Rain.
Did I say purple rain?
Yeah.
I mean, good song still.
That
LOL.
worked too.
Sorry. Uh, kind of crazy that Araki didn't call it Purple Rain. But so it's interesting. It's not really like as
That's the
because like
evolved version.
obviously his oh my god, Sam, you're right. But so Johnny's whole thing was like he's spinning his nails to shoot them, whatever. But with Jodio, if Jodio is going to be used this like as you mentioned earlier, like the rock kind of ultimate potential sort of idea, like Tusk Act 4. I really wonder how that would look because so far all we're really seeing with Jodio is that it's kind of based on gravity. Like it just seems like he's relying on gravity to bring his power down.
Like pressure, gravity, yeah. Like
Yeah, there's
yeah.
potential there. Everyone, the big meme is like JoJoLands chapter 105. Jodio, don't you realize your droplets are spinning? Your droplet this whole time they've been spinning. You never knew. He's like, oh, they are spinning.
These droplets were actually tiny mechanisms. They're
Yeah,
robotic. They're
These
mechanical.
droplets were actually tiny go beyonds that were spinning into infinite energy.
That chapter did so much like damage to me. Like
There were many
when Rai found that they're actually tiny chords. I think that ruined my life. That one single chapter of JoJo.
There's a lot of chapters. That and the flash forward did like it did so much damage.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately.
But yeah, I mean, I kind of going back to what I was saying earlier. Like to me, it's like it's like a wonderful little monthly surprise that I get delivered to me of like, oh my gosh, I get to read a new JoJo chapter, and it's like 40 pages long. Hell yeah!
Yeah, I get to remind you.
Yes,
they're definitely more like predictable in this sense where it's like, last month it's like, okay, we know we're gonna fight Ninmo this chapter. Next chapter we're probably gonna fight like Key West or Lame Shebane or something like that. Yeah, still something to look forward to though.
Yeah, I get a couple of the weekly treats on like the Sunday and the Danadan and Chainsaw Man, and then I get the monthlies, which is like JoJo, and then Records of Ragnarok at the end of the month, which is like nice like monthly meaty meals, and I love it. I eat good with manga, man. It's just a good time for manga.
I'm so behind on like everything I'm reading. I
Yeah.
famously
One Piece.
I famously caught up on One Piece since I
Wow.
guess since we last talked, and I fucking love One Piece, but I'm like a month plus behind, so I'm sure that I've missed some crazy spoilers.
Yeah, very good stuff. But you did a good job keeping off social media.
Yeah, honestly, not being on Twitter, kind of cool, kind
If
of
something
great.
crazy happens, I will just message Jim say, read it.
Yeah, if it's like Chainsaw Man, Sam will just be like, read Chainsaw Man today.
So,
I'm like, "Ah."
since the last time we caught up in the past 2 years, what have you guys said have been like new anime you watched, new manga you found, the biggest hits, the biggest
Ooh.
disappointments? What have you guys like been up to?
Well, in Japan, like from all the traveling, I read all of Danadan, and I really
Nice.
fucking loved it. It's incredible. Some of the most beautiful like spreads I've seen in a manga. Like and the characters are all like charming. The backstories are like great and like emotionally like devastating. Like, but like I don't know. It's about having some stupid friend group who just gets along. It's really nice. It's a good mix of like all emotions when I read that one. That's been like my favorite new thing that I can now read weekly.
Yeah, I had watched maybe like 5 or 6 episodes of Don Don when it came out, and I liked it. I just never like hopped back into it for whatever reason.
Second season literally just started, so and I'm excited for the arcs that are coming. So, and I'm
I
just waiting
am.
patiently for Chainsaw Man Rize movie. So,
Oh yeah, that is coming out. I am notoriously the Din Dan hater, but we don't need to talk about that right now.
no.
I will say that Sam and I, as many a phenomenon I've noticed with many men that enter their 30s, there's this
What are you saying?
tendency to go back and experience the true cinema that is 90s and 80s
Oh
anime
my
OVAs.
god! You mean after we
So
record days?
basically, whenever Sam and I hang out now, if we're not fucking playing a card game for children, we're
Hey,
finding some
it's One
old
Piece.
like hey, yeah, I do want to play more of the One Piece card game. But Sam and I will watch like old ass OVAs from the 90s, and oftentimes they're horrible in terms of like subject matter. But what was the one that we watched? Was it Wicked City? That had the guy, the one with the gun. So there's a detective guy who's really cool, and he has a gun that's so powerful that every time he shoots it, it like launches him back like 10 feet. And there's just something so gritty and grimy and very nostalgic for me about
Feel
like
that.
watching these like 90s anime that is
Absolutely, man. Old is
so
gold.
good.
Like you go back and there's especially with the 80s and 90s and the anime, like it is lost technology. Like there's things there that like just cannot happen again, and it's the lightning in a bottle.
There's some
Especially
sad, fucked up things in a lot of them too. That
yeah,
are like,
that too. But I mean, going back and like really finding like the highest quality version of some of like the dubs you can
Oh
find too. It's like like
we find a lot of them like the backlogs of like Prime videos for some reason have
yeah,
like a bunch of
Prime
them.
Amazon Prime has like a lot of
they
these for
do.
some reason.
They do. I my oh, what did we watch? It was like my girlfriend was trying to explain like a show she had watched when she was a kid, and she was like, "It's like this and it's like this," and it was like ghost stories or something. And she was like,
Oh
telling, she was like,
yeah,
"The dub is so funny, you have to like watch the dub or whatever."
Oh,
But
Ghost Stories is funny.
it's like
Yeah.
yeah, it's like the first like real abridged.
and it was on Amazon. It's like,
Yeah,
and then we watched like
it's the only version
GTO
now.
and like all this old shit. Just like, yeah, Amazon's kind of king for like
I'm pretty
older,
sure
obscure, lost anime stuff.
I'm pretty sure Japan redubbed it with like the English style. But
Oh, that's funny.
also, what was it Angel Cop, which
I
is
was
like
gonna mention Angel Cop.
that was
Yes.
like Kojima. Like, he obviously took a lot of inspiration from, and he said he only saw the first 3 episodes, and it really shows.
Yeah,
Because it's like
if Kojima tweeted a couple of years ago, like it's very funny because the Angel Cop is this terrible OVA series. It's and by terrible I mean like it actually is like extremely racist in weird ways. But you wouldn't know by watching the dub because for some reason the dub, well,
it's so
maybe
funny.
wisely they removed the weird racism. It's like very anti-Semitic for some reason.
Oh,
They
we know.
removed that from the dub.
It's almost like it's from Japan.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, if the Japan economy collapses, the
But
world collapses behind it, Jim.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, but so Kojima tweeted like I guess during the pandemic, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, when I was younger, I thought there were only 3 episodes of Angel Cop. I just found out that there's 6. I get to watch 3 more." And it's like when you watch those first 3 episodes, you see a lot of like early Metal Gear DNA.
There's
It's
like
really
a
funny
cyborg
to
named Raiden.
yeah, it's really funny. We Sam and I just watched Pat Labor recently too. Pat Labor was freaking sick. Yeah, it's good shit. It's just fun, and as you said, it's like lost technology. I will
People
say,
love that
Dude, I
that
when you
machine porn.
when like I'm listening to like the original Kira dub, not the redone one.
uh-huh.
The Akira. It's like I really think it's like the tech they were using, like it was all analog, all old equipment, and that combined with the compression and getting it on the disc, like had this like it's almost like going back and listening to like the MGS1 voice acting. It's like
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's so good. It is so good and so much better than anything they would be able they would make today trying to replicate it, you know?
Okay,
Like it
Yeah.
just wouldn't
there's
be possible.
I know a really good example. Okay, have you ever played the original House of the Dead 2?
Ugh,
It's famous for having a
not that I remember.
like very funny dub. Just if you just look up, it's like famously bad voice acting in an arcade shooter, and coming out with a remaster or remake of it, and they try to do the bad dialogue, like redo it all, and it's
Mhm.
just not as good as as funny as the original one.
The magic's
Just
not
like
there.
just look up House of the Dead 2 Goldman's speech. It's like the funniest delivery you'll ever hear from like a monologue.
Yeah, House
Well,
of the Dead is classic.
I feel like back in the day, like when you heard the voice acting sounds a lot more natural and more like it almost is a sense of like the people recording don't really care,
No.
but in a sense that also adds like a level of like realism to it, to where I don't know if this is just like me being like, oh, I hate everything that's new, or it's not as good as it used to be.
New
But
bad,
like,
old good.
But when I listen to a lot of like modern dubs, I swear it's like every single actor is going into that booth with something to prove, and they're like,
Yeah.
I'm side character 4. I'm putting my heart and soul into this performance in a way that's like overdone. So every single performance is sort of like just exhausting to listen to in a way where it's like, can we just calm down and just like have a natural like pacing here? And
I don't go out of
I
my
don't
way
know.
to listen to many dubs, but I think when I watched Trigun Stampede, I tended to listen to the dub because I know
Mhm.
and that was
I
incredible.
like
Like,
dubs.
yeah, it depends. It really depends on the series, but like that dub is like incredible for Trigun. I love Stampede. I can't wait for the
Yeah.
second season.
The
Yeah.
original
I'm not saying
Devilman
all
dub is
dubs are bad, but
amazing.
some dubs
And
are.
like I don't know, I watched like I don't think I finished the season of Toru because I read the manga that I watched a little bit of the anime, but like the anime cast they had for like the first season was incredible. Like Okiyasu's was Kankaiman's voice actor in it.
Yeah.
And it's
My
oh,
nephew like really loves that show. And every time he's like shit, he was like 9 at the time, but now he's like 12. This is so long ago this was happening. And every time he'd come over to watch, he'd be like, let's watch Dora. And we would just rewatch that first season over and over and over again. And I remember he would always be like, "Can I borrow the manga?" I was like, "I don't think you can." I was like,
yeah, you know,
yeah, I was like, I think the manga is not good for you. It's like it's a lot more explicit. So I was like,
Yeah.
you know, maybe when you're older, but he's excited for season 2. And speaking of season 2 of Dorohedoro, supposedly coming out this year.
For real? Oh my god, I
Yeah.
gotta tell my cousin. Similar to you having a nephew that loves it, I have a cousin that fucking loves Dorohedoro.
I read it all, but like my memory is like I have a my memory isn't 100% great, so like I feel like I have to like reread it or just watch the anime to kind of remind me. That thing's a lot of fun, but like CG shows, I'm very like it's one of the better ones, but like it's still like a kind of a hard pill for me to swallow watching
I
something. If
love
it's not
that
like
intro.
if it's not Studio Orange.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch any of it actually. I read a bit of the manga, but I love that intro so much. That intro and the song is so good.
It also did what like
What
the
show are we
Chainsaw Man
talking about?
ED did.
Or we're talking about
Dorohedoro, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know you never watched it. That's crazy.
I know, yeah. It's one that I kind of totally missed.
It also did the Chainsaw Man like having like a bunch of EDs that changed up every few episodes.
Yeah, they did a really good job with that.
Which is weird. I would not expect that to be the show with the like.
That was like Mappa. I feel like Mappa is the only studio that's really experimented with that.
Oh yeah,
but Map had a lot on their plate, which is probably why we haven't seen anything for the second season.
I really like the 3D in it. It's just like there's one thing where it's like, you could say every anime needs to be 2D hand drawn and look like it used to, but it's like I think Dorohedoro was like a really, really good sort of like evolution of anime where it's like, hey, we can make an anime, we can use 3D and it can like still obviously it doesn't look like a hand draw. Like I hate that side by side.
There's a scale.
It's always gonna look different. Like
it's always the side by side of Kaiman in the first panel, like eating some guy's head, and then it's next to the anime. It's like, look at how bad the anime is, but it's like, if it didn't look like this, it wouldn't exist. Like, there's compromises made, and it's like, if you didn't know that Dorohedoro had a manga, like it fits that aesthetic that they did for the anime. Like it doesn't look out of place there.
It captures the look of the characters very well. Like I gotta say, the chubbiest or the bigness of the heads, it captures very well. Like the eyes and everything. Like
oh yeah.
And essentially, we just saw like the really crappy CG Fist of the North Star trailer, which is like looks awful. Like
I didn't think people were saying 2016 Berserk, and it was like
behind me of it.
It was a little bit of that, but I don't know. I feel like lately I'm more open to 3D projects.
I think before we thought like David Productions wasn't doing Part 7, like the dream was like a Studio Orange Steel Ball Run adaptation.
Yeah, what was the last Studio Orange project? Was it
Probably maybe Trigun Stampede, or maybe there's something in between there because they're doing second season of Trigun, which I'm
I think
excited
they're
for.
doing a Beastar. I like because
Oh, it
you
could have been a
brought up
B-Star final season.
you brought up the Anime Expo, and it looks like they just
Yeah,
announced like the
Beastar's
final.
like doing the final season part 2, something
I
like
thought the
that.
final
Yeah.
season's already out. Is it not out?
It's like
Apparently,
a part 1, part 2 thing, I think. The
Oh, of
Attack on Titan
course.
thing.
Attack on Titan did a ridiculous thing.
yeah. I wish
That's
they had just done like a movie with that.
Oh
nice.
yeah, I feel like what happened with Attack on Titan is sort of the same thing that happened to Chainsaw Man with me, and this is just a me thing. I'm not saying this is the consensus, but like just Chainsaw Man Part 1, Season 1, it feels like a lifetime ago, and I feel like
Yeah.
I have genuinely lost so much interest in that series, and it's like, oh yeah, the Bomb Girl arc is coming out, the movie's coming out, and even then I feel like the movies, I've been seeing trailers like a year ago, and it's like, yeah, it takes time, but it's like, holy, the ship sort of sailed for me on that one. I don't know. So
Okay.
in my mind, it's like, okay, so like, am I gonna be 40 years old when I see International Assassins? Like how long is it gonna be?
Yeah.
So between Beastars and Trigun's Stargaze, they're doing a thing called Leviathan, like on like a Netflix series.
Is it like an
So
original? That'd be fucking
it's based
sick.
off a novel or an adaptation of Leviathan by Scott Westerfeld. Was announced in June 2024. So I guess it's just based off something, based off a novel
Interesting.
trilogy.
An adaptation of an American novel? That's
Of a
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Neat.
Cool.
I
Let me
mean,
see if it's
Orange has
American.
done
Yeah,
some
American
really good
writer.
stuff. I know a lot of people really wanted them to do a Hoseki no Kuni season 2. As someone who's like one of the biggest Hoseki no Kuni fans, Land of the Lustrous, I could like give or take or leave that. But I think that anime even came out in like 2017. I think still looked really good for a CG. Yeah, I'm not really like a CG hater. I just watched this Fist in the North Star. I think like some of it looks a little janky. Most of it's like fine. Like I don't know. For me, like when we talk about things like this, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'd really like to go watch like the original thing. I've never watched that before. I'd rather watch the original before I watch like a remake or read it. Actually, I've never even read it.
Okay, Jim. The plot of this novel is based off of it's an alternate version of World War One, with the Austro-Hungarians and Germans use clankers, diesel-driven mecha loaded with guns and ammunition, against the
That
British
sounds great.
Darwinists.
That sounds freaking great.
There's like a
I've
steampunk battleship
I
series.
enjoy Kengan Ashura, so my palette is open to any 3D at this point.
uh,
I can still have fun with it.
I either like I just like the Netflix stuff. It's like a lot of hit or miss because Ragnarok was like a huge miss, and then I got Dungeon Meshi, which was a huge hit for me. So
Yeah. I've heard so many good things about Dungeon Meshi, and I look at it and it's just I'm like, this reeks of modern anime. for me.
I'm wearing a dungeon. I am wearing my Dungeon Meshi shirt right now, so I'll wipe my tears away with that.
I will. As someone who's not watched Dungeon Meshi but read a bit of the manga, I will defend it. I think it has a lot of soul. It has a lot
It
of the
does.
the beautiful S word soul.
It's great. I love it. I love my band of crazy D&D characters just want to eat everything. Like it's great.
I just have and I'm sure you guys can both relate, but like as I get older, my tolerance for like what I'm gonna watch is so much less. Like,
Oh yeah.
I just don't want to like I'll put on something. I'll put on episode 1 of an anime and be like, oh wow, I've seen this 10 times, or like fuck this. But I will say I did watch a lot of Sailor Moon recently. I've never actually just sat down and sat my ass down and watched. And that's a really nice like to have like a little comfort show on like when you're just
Mhm.
like home from work and you're eating dinner, just have like a little 30-minute comfort show. It's like a great one for that, just because like it's got the beautiful nostalgic colors and like cell animation, and I just sound like an old guy now, but
Oh, I
No,
do that
I
with
get
like
that.
Tokusatsu, where I'll watch like a two-parter episode, and kind of a nice little consumption to get in the story and the character stuff. And it's kind of crazy. I'm not sure if you heard, Jim. Like the next series for Kamen Rider is getting almost a worldwide release, like, in America, like
huh.
streaming. which
That's
is like
really interesting. That's
That
like
is
unheard
interesting,
of.
actually.
only Ultraman did that. It came out with like a dub as well for Ultraman. So like people are saying, "Oh, are we gonna get a dub? Are we getting it like next day on a streaming service or like a YouTube?" Like, and they made the suit definitely look way more Western. Like it looks like it looks like a superhero suit, like you
He
would
has
see
like a
something. Yeah.
baseball. He has like a baseball on it. He's got
It's
like
gonna.
hot dogs and
I wish. No, he's like it's based off like a dream. It's like a dream series. Like the gimmick is like
What
a
is
dream.
the series called?
Common Rider Zets, if I. But like
I'm
some
looking at him.
Zeztz.
yes.
I'm
Let
looking
me
at
look.
this guy. I do not see the American influence. He looks
He
like
kind of looks a little
Like
Spider-Man.
Like American, yeah, like Spider-Man, like American superhero, like
yeah. You
Spider-Man.
look a little like Shattered Dimension vibes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
to me, it reminds me of like a lot of like the early, like late '90s, early 2000s Spider-Man designs, where his eyes like take up most
yeah.
of his head.
but they want to keep the color scheme like the original, like very first series. So like
Kind of
it's
cool.
good. It's
This
gonna be
kind of
interesting.
fucks.
I'm hoping like people are not sure that in the trailer if they use background AI. There's people don't know. It's been like people debating it, so like it's not like no one really knows for sure yet. But
It's one thing
yeah,
I love not being on social media.
I'm just hoping it to pick up and not give up like they've tried in their past few attempts. Because I like Tokusatsu; it's a fun genre, and we're getting like an anime series about a 30 like adult man that wants to become a common rider in real life, and it looks very fun. And I'm like, I can relate.
So that's interesting. So Kamen Rider is no longer trying to appeal to the like kids that watched it because they're all grown up now. I feel like
Well,
I've never met a Kamen Rider fan younger than 25. Like,
well, it depends. Actually, when I went to Japan, I went to like the Kamen Rider diner, and like it's a mix, the mixed crowd. It's all like,
yeah,
but like they're there to sell toys. Kids still like it, but like a lot of adult fans can certain series like really attach to. Some series are more darker. Some series are more kid friendly. Like it really depends on the series and like whether it like scars children for life or not.
yeah.
Like the
Modern
guy.
anime though, the last thing that's just popped in my head, but the last thing I remember watching was last year actually. Kaiju number 8. That second
Oh
season's
God.
coming out. That I liked that.
Oh
I liked
God.
it.
I read the manga. It's basically almost done. It falls off so
Oh,
bad.
I'm looking forward to that.
It
Sam and I are
becomes
haters. We we did
industry
like
plant.
we did like a manga book club with some of our friends IRL, and that was one of like it was pretty early on, maybe like 60 chapters in, and we did that as one of the first books that we did, like series we did in our little book club, and I was so into it. I really enjoyed it at first, and it hits this point where like I don't know, it's hard to describe. It feels like all the interest I have just dies off. Like
They
it's rare to hit that point in a series so like perfectly, but
kind of
so I
drop
stopped right
him
there.
being like using facts from being a cleaner or facts or the fact that he's like 30 in his 30. Like they just drop that and he just like could just be any shonen young protagonist
Yeah, that
instead.
was kind of the appeal of season 1.
And yeah, that
Yeah, I
was
like
the
that. I like
first
that
half we
gimmick.
read. We liked it, and then they kind of dropped that, and it becomes kind of generic stuff. Like same thing, like bad guy. We beat the bad guy. Oh no, another bad guy. Or he's not even really defeated. He has another power up, and it cuts away to other characters reacting to this and explaining stuff, and he's still punching for like 30 chapters. Like it's
I
like
see.
it became. It was like reading the discussion threads after like every week was just like everybody like, oh, this is just no, this is just generic. I've read this could be anything.
That's a
So
shame.
Yeah, it's not for me. Not for me, but hey, I mean, maybe season 2 will be pretty good. I
I,
don't know how
I
far season 1 went up to, so maybe there's still some really good stuff there.
no, is that at end of the 150 chapters? I think in like 9 days it's gonna finish. I believe.
Oh, wow.
Everything's ending.
Yeah,
But
Vinland just ended.
Vinland ended?
yeah, the manga
It,
ended.
it ends like
What?
tomorrow.
Yeah,
I don't think
fuck.
the final chapter is not out, but it is in the next few days.
Oh my
Wow.
god. Oh, so I really, really enjoyed reading Vinland. I read up to like basically like the end of, I guess, is it considered like a part 2?
My
Like,
bad. Not tomorrow. It will be the 25th of July. Will be the
oh
last
my
chapter.
god. I've been waiting for Vinland to end so that I can binge like the last like half of the story. So holy shit, I guess I got my work cut out for me.
Yeah, that's one of those series where it's like I loved every second of reading it, but I didn't feel the need to jump to the end to finish it because the arcs have these very like it almost feels like the end of book 1, and I'm okay waiting a
Yeah.
few years for book 2. Like I
Yeah.
remember some of the last bits I read were like where season 2 ends. When Thorfinn and Canute sort of like, you know, come back together after like that big time skip at Kettle's farm, and it's like I remember reading that before season 2 was even animated, and I was like, I think that ends at book 9, and I like set that down, and I had book 10, I had book 11, and I'm just like, wow, that was so satisfying. Like I'm good to just set that on the shelf for a while and like return to it at some point.
Yeah. Oh my god, that gets me so excited. Did you watch it or read it, Sam? I don't want to spoil
I
anything.
watched the first season. I know a couple things like what happens
Okay.
after it.
I
But
won't spoil anything, but I basically got to like essentially basically a little bit past where you were talking about Xforts. But it's yeah, I felt the same exact way. I was like, I can't wait to just resume this journey. I know there's gonna be a lot more to it. So oh my god, join us in the future for fucking Vinland Saga cast when I
It like
read it
it
all.
respects your time too, because it's like it's not keeping you a reader with like
Yes.
trails of things that are gonna happen in the future. It's giving you good shit in the present and resolving arcs in like a very complete way. Like I love TV shows that do that never end on a
Yeah.
cliffhanger. It's like every episode is like its own, not episodic in a sense. I think Sopranos does this really well, where like Sopranos really never ends on a cliffhanger. It always ends on like, you know, that's the end of the episode. It's
Oh,
wrapped
it's so
up.
I'm literally watching Sopranos right now. You're so right. It's like every episode, at the end of every episode, I'm always like, "Fuck, this show's so good." That's like my
Yeah.
reaction to every
But
episode.
it's not like I have to watch the next episode to see what happens seconds following it. How like
Yeah.
Breaking Bad, where Breaking Bad does it in a good way though, where it like it tells a very exciting story, and it does have those like immense cliffhangers where you know you might have work in 5 hours, but you have to watch the next episode.
Yeah.
But Sopranos like it respects the viewer and it knows it's gold because it's like we don't even need to like do that. We know that you're gonna come back next week because of what we just showed you.
Mm-hmm.
Good show.
Yeah. I'm
What
thrilled.
season are you on?
I'm right at the end of season 3. I just watched the Pine Barrens episode.
Oh, it's like one of the
God.
best.
It's
So many
so fucking good.
I would like to think like about their shows. The season ends. Like they resolute the plot of the season, but then like they leave off on a cliffhanger for the next season. Like Supernatural did that a lot when I did my watch through Supernatural.
The
I hate a show. I hate a show where it's the entire season. In episode 1, you see the point where you want to get to, and then the last 5 minutes of the last episode is you're still not there, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, like you guys don't have anything. You got nothing.
Well, we're finally getting the panty and stocking resolution after like how many years, Jim?
I don't even know how long it's been. It's
That's sequel series coming
well
out.
over a decade.
And just Fanny Stocking 2 coming out. 'Cause yeah, that was like is this been I like the memed on like anime like cliffhanger.
Literally, Sam, literally 15 years.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Panty and Stockings last episode was
Coming out
Christmas
this
Eve
month.
of 2010. That's crazy.
Damn. I'm only gonna watch the dub of that one though.
Love Panty and Stocking. But yeah, a really last thought, and then I'm like done. Back to Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga does the cycle of violence story in a way that like I find so cathartic and refreshing, and like there's so many stories and so many movies and games and anime that try and cover like cycle of violence. Like Attack on Titan does it and fails. Like Game of Thrones does
Didn't Last
it.
of Us do that?
Last of Us like famous for doing it too. Game of Thrones does it, and like the TV show it fails, and in the books it's like remains to be seen. But it's so just beautifully done in Vinland Saga from what I've read. As I said, I've read to like end of part 2, and it's just I don't know what I want to do with it. I want to make like a little presentation. Like my friends and I will do like PowerPoint nights sometimes, where we'll do like PowerPoint presentations, and I want to do one of those. I don't know if I'd ever turn it into like a fucking YouTube video essay, but
A
that's
lecture.
like
We'll get you a lecture like
I would love to do a little
like
lecture.
Tectonic did.
Yeah, like a friend of the show, Tectonic Improv, did one about every Fast and the Furious movie. It was like 6 hours long. It's hilarious. It's on YouTube. He goes through the whole story. But yeah, I'd love to. I don't know. I don't know. I think like the whole theme of like the cycle of violence and like actually getting to the heart of how to like end it is it's so compelling to me.
You know what, Jim? I only deal with hype moments and aura farming, so I think I'll stick to solo leveling. Like like a real anime fan.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess that's really it. I know we wanted to try and wrap it up soon. We went a bit over time, actually. Was there anything else you wanted to chat about before we pull the plug?
I'm okay. I'm chilling more than I thought I was going to. Before the recording, we were like, guys, it's hot. Let's put a time. But the last topic we could do is games. What have you guys been playing? What are like
Ooh.
what are your
We already talked about the horse game, so what else can we
Uma
talk about?
Musume, the horse racing game.
real
very
gaming? Real gaming.
Hey, well, if you've seen gameplay of people, it's a real you will get.
Or do you
hyped.
guys even
been-
really play games
No,
that much?
no.
Like,
Oh, I play too many
I've been
games
playing
over
Night
here.
Rain with Jim, which has been fun.
Yeah, the new Elden Ring multiplayer game, which is
Yeah.
pretty fun.
Like we
I will
literally had that
say-
hypest like win last night.
Yeah, that was really fucking fun. That game is really fun. In terms of like a game I wish I could play, I really want to play the new Death Stranding.
Oh, yeah.
But I do not have a PlayStation, so I cannot play it.
Give it a year. It'll probably like a year or two. It'll go to Steam.
Go on
That
Steam,
was
yeah.
that was excellent. That was very good.
I've been playing.
Did you
the
play it?
game-
You played it?
Oh,
Yep.
man.
Yeah. Big Death Stranding fan. Love
Oh.
the first one was like. I'd probably say it's my favorite game of all time. I really love
Wow,
that game.
really?
I've played it like I played it when it came out. I played it when it got put on Steam. I played the director's cut when it came out, and then like a month before the second one came out, I was like, all right, I gotta get the platinum trophy. Went through it. So I've played the game like a lot. I really love that game. And the second one, it was like it had expectations that seemed like unfathomable to even reach, and it was like it was a lot of more of the same. It was very refined, but it told a good story, and I think wrapped up like the world of Death Stranding in a way where it's like if Kojima does want to move on to like Physint or whatever he's gonna do, like if Death Stranding is just like a 2-game IP and he's done with it, good. He did a great job with it.
He has a horror game coming, and he said he's doing a new tactical espionage game probably after that.
Yeah,
so.
that's OD. OD is the one that he revealed with a
The
collaboration
screaming
with
white
like,
woman.
yeah, it was Jordan Peele, and you had like
Oh yeah, that was Jordan Peele. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
that was like the Hunter Schafer trailer
Yeah,
with
yeah.
that one other actress. She was in that one Netflix show that got canceled after one season.
That
I don't
doesn't
know her
narrow
name.
it down. To
Yeah,
anything.
whatever it was. But yeah, I don't know if that I don't even know if that game is going to come out. There's been like rumors of him wanting to make OD since like the PT days. So that's been like a long-term project, but
it's got to be the fill-in for that.
I think maybe I think they said when they announced that like Physint game, they said that he's going to work on it like right after Death Stranding, but I don't know. We'll see. I could totally see him being like, it could totally be another MGS thing where he's like, Metal Gear Solid 2 is the last Metal Gear game.
Oh yeah.
Then Metal Gear Solid, like there's so much room for more Death Stranding, so we'll just have to see. But
Maybe he
those
does like a
games are
lower
gonna be
budget
sick.
game or like a smaller like, spin-off game of a character. Who knows? It's a lot of industry, should be getting into like smaller games or like AA games because a lot of people loved Expedition 33 and all that.
Yeah, I
So-
absolutely adored that game.
You played that one?
Yes,
Jim
it's
did.
Interesting.
Yeah, Sam hasn't played it yet. Actually,
I played
loved
it. My friend was hyping it up. He was like, I feel like I got another like unrealistic expectation from that game, just like being on social media in a sense. Like you'd think this game was like the greatest thing ever created ever, which some people might say it is. And it's like I played it for like 5-6 hours and I was just like, oh, it's a turn-based RPG. Like the story was very interesting and the combat was fun. I mean, I think it relied a little bit too much on the quick time events and the parrying. But I'm like 6 hours in and I'm like, it's a turn-based RPG. I'm not blown away yet, but I still have to finish it, so we'll see.
For me, I was just so enraptured by like the whole presentation, the story. The music's really fantastic.
The story
too.
is super interesting.
But the specifically and it's funny because like there are certain games like same with Metaphor. Like I like Metaphor y Fantasio.
I love
but
Metaphor.
the actual like progression of like building characters is what got its deep hooks in me, and the fun that you might not get initially in like the first couple hours with Expedition 33 is that essentially all these characters have the potential to be built as like just complete destroyers, and it's all about finding these special like they're called like pictos essentially, like
Yeah,
they're
the
like
Picto system I found was pretty complicated in a good way.
yeah, and so essentially you can it's really open-ended to the point where you can build a character like a myriad of ways. Like I can make this character be super glass cannon, like she starts with 1 health, but it gives her like triple damage, and then she has an ability that goes triple damage. So like people have racked up like hundreds of millions of damage just like in single attacks. I've seen like it's just one of those things where your brain
Min-maxing.
yeah, if you're really into that, like that can almost dominate your brain of like how can I oh this character is good at like stacking this item, like how can I build this better for her, or like blah blah blah. So I really loved that. But yeah,
One
the
of those
story
games
was
where
great
it's like
too.
it's only as fun as you're willing to have, something like that.
Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it. Like yeah, you need to be able to invest
That was like
the effort
Tears of the
yourself.
Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom for me. It's like this is a really fun game, but I don't want to engage with the mechanics enough. Like I'm too lazy. So
No.
to really I mean you'd see people building like insane creations and it's like that's cool, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't have that in me.
Yeah.
It's funny with Expedition, my buddy was playing it and like big Final Fantasy fan too. So he was playing it and his wife was watching him, and his wife is also she's super into like Dragon Age and games like that. So big into fantasy. So she ended up like watching a playthrough online, like a full let's play of the game, and loved it and like loves the story, and like we had really great conversations after I beat it because she'd experienced the whole story even though she didn't play the game herself because she's not super like I know that she wouldn't like gel with the how like technical it gets with the quick time event stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's something so refreshing about it too that I think there's a novelty to how refreshing that game was, and also how French it is like it's like a joke. People say like, "Oh my god, this game's so French," but from beginning to end, and specifically the ending, is so incredibly like French and like it's hard to pick another word to describe it. Where, yeah, it's just it's gorgeous to see a game like that, just kind of come out of nowhere. And there's this amazing clip that I keep seeing people repost of the I forget his name, the director of the studio that did Baldur's Gate 3. He did like a little speech at one of the game awards where he was like, I know the next winner, the next year's winner of game of the year, and he goes in this incredible speech about how the
Variant's great.
next year's winner is going to be the people who want to play the games that they make, people who are passionate, people who are willing to break away from the mold. And it's almost like when you are listening to the speech and thinking about the games that I've played in like the past 2 years, I'm like, wow, I'm really thinking of these explicit game. Like for me, Metaphor, or rather, Expedition 33 is the game that feels so much like it's people from like outside the industry, kind of like it's not like this 20th iteration of like a Call of Duty or a big
Yeah, definitely.
franchise.
I mean, the bigger the budget, the less risk you have to take. I mean, if you're whatever studio, Ubisoft, anything like that, like
Yeah,
Oh
I
god.
feel like the bigger the budget gets, it's like this cannot fail. We have to gameplay has to be safe, has to be palatable, story has to be safe, has to be palatable, because if this fails, like this could be like catastrophic. So you almost get into that like vicious cycle where it's like the more expensive it is, the more mediocre it is, because it's just Marvel movies. You know, they have to be just the most like just
Consume.
milk
you have to
toast
hit
thing
the
imaginable, to where it's
yeah.
inoffensive. It's tried and true. It's third person over the shoulder action game that like people enjoy. So
Open world slop.
yeah, yes. So I see what you're saying there, where it's like definitely the game industry is moving towards more like independent, um, ambitious in the sense of like breaking the mold, not like scale, like Expedition 33 is.
Yeah.
I've
And hey, we're
I've
supposed to get a Silk Song this year, apparently. So I mean, fingers crossed.
I've been having fun with like, those kind of like co-op, like indie kind of. Oh,
Friend
I've been
friend
playing
slop.
Friend Slop, yeah, because I've been playing
Yeah.
Peak. with some friends, and it's been like really funny to play because every day the map is like a different seed generated, and like just trying to climb a mountain with your friends is just very
The
funny. Like
the
the stories build themselves around like what you do in your journey. Like
Emergent
same thing with
gameplay.
Repo and like Lethal Company. They're just like fun co-op slop games that you just like.
Yeah, the story behind that Peak game is funny, where it's made by the developers of a Last Crab's Treasure that like
Oh, I
Soul.
have that game. I never played it yet.
Yeah, it's like that Souls game where you're like
Yeah.
a crab, and the team that was doing it, they were gonna make like a big project, like even bigger than a Crab's Last Treasure, and it got like canceled or they like restructure whatever, and they're like, okay, we're just gonna focus on making smaller projects, and they made Peak in like either like 2 weeks or 2 months. It was like it was for a game jam.
Yeah, I was
And
gonna
they were
say, it feels like a game jam game.
yeah, it was
It's
like
very fun. Like
it was like, okay, we were working on this huge project that isn't coming out anymore. Let's just see what we can make smaller scale. And like they were like, we made this game in whatever 18 weeks, maybe even less, and it's like
Incredible.
instantly sells way more copies than the Crab's Treasure and like all the stuff they've been taking so much time to make, and they're like, damn.
it's just fun. Like it's just fun. Like it's simple but fun. Like I find this Repo it's funny. Like the dev updates I see for Repo are very like funnily done. Like I just like that genre. It, like death, you're gonna die. It's just cutesy like cutesy little game, but there's horrible deaths involved.
Yeah, it has that sort of like um getting over it genre too, where it's
Yeah.
very high stakes. Someone falls
That's
off the
also like
mountain.
Matt's case. Like this, yeah. That guy's doing like another co-op like game. Like
It's out, I think.
is it
Yeah,
out?
you
The
walk
Baby
around like
Steps
a
or
big open
whatever.
world. Yeah.
Podry, what's that
No,
guy's name?
Baby Steps.
Benefati.
Yeah, okay, yeah. The game's called Baby Steps. I didn't know that was out yet.
Yeah, I think speaking of Northern Lion, I think he was streaming it, or I
He's
saw
too busy
someone
playing
stream
Pretty
it from
Derby.
it. Yeah. Yeah,
It's not out yet.
Oh, it's
Comes
not
out
out. Okay,
September.
I must have seen like a demo or something.
It's a demo is out, yeah.
There's this it's a really weird tangent, but the people who made like Psychonauts and Brutal Legend, Double Fine, there's
Brutal
this
Legend,
thing.
that's a classic.
Yeah, they're kind of like legends in their own way. Like Tim Schafer's like an industry legend. There's this amazing there are actually two. I watched the second one of it or most of it, but they're like hours and hour long documentaries of them making like their last two games, where they had like an actual in-staff biography team that would go around filming the staff as they made the game. So they're these incredible they're all on YouTube too. I can't remember what they're called, but if you look up like Double Fine documentary, there's a whole like documentary about how they made Psychonauts, and it's an amazing story. Like they do a great job at showing like what it's like to work at a game company like that. But there's a thing they do every year called Amnesia Fortnite, and they force everybody in Double Fine Studios. There are 2 weeks where you're not allowed to touch the main game. So like no one is allowed to work on Psychonauts at all. Everyone needs to work on their own game, and they basically have like an internal game jam. And it's so fucking cool because if you play Psychonauts 2 and you watch this little game, like watch the episode where they do the game jam, you're like, oh my god, that one entire game that the guy made became a level in Psychonauts 2. And because it's this whole idea where it's like, what if you're like a tiny little person trying to feed a god and you have to go through like a massive obstacle course to like grab the cheese and bring the cheese back and then blah blah blah. And like that became a level in Psychonauts. And there's another game too, I think they're still working on that. It's just from a game jam. It's like a kind of like a MOBA. I don't know what the name is, if they have a name even, but it's like a MOBA where you play as a clay pot, but before you spawn in, you like mold the pot yourself so you can choose how your design is going to be. So you can make yourself like really skinny and thin and like quicker and harder to hit, or bigger and like heavier. And yeah, like these are just like game jam games they made that have like gone on to influence huge parts of Psychonauts and like even like a future release. It's so fucking cool.
That is a
I'll find
cool
the
like
name of
creative
that.
process. It's definitely good to like step away from projects though, because like the brain is super good at like post processing. Have you ever had it where you're like fighting a boss in like a Souls game and you're slamming your head against the wall and you've fought it 30 times and then it's like, oh my god. And then you go to bed and you
Yep.
play it the next day and you beat it first try. It's like
literally so many times.
so many times when I'm having trouble with a boss fight, it's like I know if I play this tomorrow, I will beat it instantly because it's like oh my god, I remember reading a book where they brought up this study where it's like the like something about your brain, like it works like offline. Like it sounds so weird where it's like you might be able, I can't remember what the like study was. I think it was like making like a purchase decision off of like a used car or just like a purchase decision. And they found that the group, so say you had like two groups, group A, group B, and group A did product research on something for like 6 hours and then picked something. And then you had another group that did product research for something for 6 hours. And then they asked them to make a decision 3 days later without thinking about it. Like the group 3 days later, like overwhelmingly made the better decisions. And it's like, damn, your brain, like when it's not thinking about it, really does like sort the information like unconsciously. It's crazy. So applying that to like even game design or like projects, like stepping away, you might think like, oh, I'm not like I'm hurting the project, but like I don't know, it really just like organizes things for you.
Yeah, it's so cool to see it like in action too. And the I found the name. So the name of the series is called Psych Odyssey, and that's where they go over. I think it's like 15 or 16 hours long. It's separated in a bunch of episodes, but yeah, if you like game design at all, it's like such an amazing series to watch because it gives you like the real
Psych Odyssey.
Yeah, it gives you the real like sort of a warts and all story. Like there are some people in there where you're like, damn, that guy's kind of an asshole. Like like that guy's just like one of the developers and he's just kind of an asshole and like they just have to deal with him.
Like one of their like teammates making the game.
Yeah, one of like the real life people. Yeah, and it's just really cool. It's funny because like it in a way it almost feels like The Office, like the TV show The Office, except these are like real fucking people.
They look at the camera, and Tim Schafer says something. They can do that with like the Borderlands team because every time Randy Pitchford says something stupid, they just like suddenly stare at the camera.
It's so funny. My boss, like at my job at work, my boss has talked about wanting to have someone film us because like he's the kind of guy that's always like he's got all these ideas about like I want to he's when he starts going off on things it's like he's talking about the industry that we're in and it's like a lot of and it's like it's hard to script these things but they come out naturally, so he's always like, oh, I wish we had people filming us, and we all signed a little release and I actually am on some videos on our website, lol, but you'll never fucking know.
Going back to what Sam said, that'd be so funny if it was like an Office reboot but it was Gearbox and Randy Pitchford was Michael Scott and everyone hates him. He's just like the worst.
He's like a mix of him and Dwight to combine into like one person. I mean, Jim, I think I'm on like a camera of like my sister wrestled in Japan when I went to go see her match in Japan. Like they put me and our other friend who went there because we're like, oh, two foreigners in Japan to see our show. We'll put them on the camera side so they can show them coming to our show.
That's
so
hilarious.
Whatever that show is, I'm on like front cam for it.
Hell yeah.
So only one or two white people. but yeah.
Yeah, we love video games. I play way too many video games, honestly. I've been also addicted to Slay the Spire lately. That's been my
that's the addicting game. Any Steam summer sale pickups?
A lot of games
I'm trying to save money right now. I'm trying not to spend too much, but I've been really tempted.
A lot of those games I got, I mentioned already. I think I got on the stand. I'm gonna get one more. I might pick up like a Final Fantasy VI or something, but we'll see.
I got Expedition is the one I got because it was like 10 whatever, it was like 10% off. And the one I just finished was the Resident Evil 4 remake.
Oh, I heard that's
how
good.
Was that? Was it good?
I have like very opinionated about like video game remakes, so for me it was just like but I'll still play them and open-minded to it, and for me it was like it's a fun game, but on another side it feels like sort of like a bastardization of the original visions. But it was fun.
I think the one bad thing I heard was like they changed Ada's voice actress to be like the girl that played Ada in like a really crappy live action movie that came out recently. So and it's like not that she's not a voice actor, so it's not like that great.
Yeah. I mean, everything is changed. All the voice actors, all the models, everything. So
It's not like
it's just it's a weird concept with the whole video game remake thing because it's like I really dislike the idea of a new team coming in and developing this game, and they're not calling the game Resident Evil 4 remake. They're calling the game Resident Evil 4, and you have these people like making decisions different from. It seems like almost insulting to the original people that developed that game, who made the characters, who made the script, who made the levels. And that was their vision for the game. And then to just come in and be like, hey, we're going to take your thing. We're going to make it better. We're going to call it the same thing. And when people play it, they're going to be playing Resident Evil 4. But it's like, damn, like that was someone else's like project. So
at least like I think the original one is like aged so well that like you can go back and still get like the original experience. It's like it still plays incredibly well. Like
to the point where I would say like a remake
to the point to why did we spend $100 million remaking it?
I will say too,
Code Veronica needs the remake more so than like 4
Absolutely.
This isn't really a remake, but I did play Resident Evil 4 on the Oculus Rift, and I have to say, it fucking awesome. It was such a fun fucking experience.
That sounds like terrifying.
It was.
Somebody did make. I'm not sure if you ever saw this. Somebody made a game of like it's a puzzle game, but it's just like the RE4 attaché case, the mini games. You like you have all these items and you have to like fit it into the box at its time. I think it's called, what's it called? It's called like Save Room, I think. And it just like fit everything in this specifically shaped attaché case. Like it's so funny.
Oh my god.
What the puzzles though? When I was playing Resident Evil 4, I was like, I thought of like a skit in my head, like a late night Adult Swim skit that would come up like late at night, and it's like a 5-minute skit, and it's like the contractors building a Resident Evil castle where they're like, what the fuck did this guy want? So when the flag falls, it's supposed to open this metal door 20 meters away. like because everything in the game is like functionally like logical in the sense to where it's like mechanically working, and it's like, who built this stuff? Legitimate. This isn't magic. Like
I think a lot of the RE5 puzzles are like turn the sun reflection, but if you hit me, I burn to death. Like
I love RE5, man. Like that one could, if that got remade in the more of like a remaster where it was just like it felt better to play. I like Resident Evil 4.
I'd be down to Sam. That was like one of the first Resident Evil games I played actually, which sounds weird. And
me and him played. It's the best way to play that one is in co-op.
Yeah, forever, years ago when Sam and I were still in fucking high school. I think we played it together. It was so much fun.
So fun co-op. And it feels like RE4 was kind of the blueprint because they had like you and Ashley, and it's like you could see the natural progression of that to where it's like, well, what if you had like and you have those other scenes where you're like, you have all the teammates with you. It's like, oh, what if we had these? And then Resident Evil 6, they blew it up. They went too crazy with it.
And then they tried again with Revelations 1 and 2, which were better than the 6 stuff. So
yeah, Resident Evil is such a weird franchise. Like it's gone through so many like lulls and highs and like pseudo reboots with the Ethan Winters stuff, and it's very interesting.
Lady D blew up that one, like when that game was first really shown.
There is still so many that I haven't played yet, and for me, it's like
I'm so happy.
I'm so happy to know that like I haven't even touched Resident Evil Village, and I just know that I have this like really wonderful game to play when I get around to it.
I have so much backlog stuff actually from like the Epic Game Store free stuff, but that downloader is so slow by default that it's just like I don't want to take freaking ever to download a game. For some reason, Epic Game Store has like the slowest download like max speed ever. I have a bunch of games. I just never get a chance to download them all.
The other one I play like playing a little bit here and there is GTA 4 because it was like $5 and it's like okay,
I love that
this
game, but like I don't expect it to like the driving at least to like not age incredibly well.
Well, this is what I thought. So I booted it up and I'm like, this looks nothing like I remember. Like everything is broken. Like the camera during cutscenes, the camera will just zoom in infinitely on a point, and it's like, okay, something's going on here. So I go down this rabbit hole, and it's like, oh yeah, the GTA 4 port is broken. They're selling a broken product; it doesn't work. Here's like, 10 mods you can install that fixes it. And I'm like, okay, fix the game. Let me spend 5 hours fixing the game I bought, And then I like finally am able to play it, and I'm like, dude, like I'm driving through the world, I'm seeing the NPCs, and it's like you think for the longest I've been alive, almost gaming has just been on this linear path of like it better and better and better and better. And only within the past like 10 years have I realized that it is not a linear progression of better and better and better. Because I'm playing GTA 4 and I'm like, dude, this is early Xbox 360. Like this is borderline like a PlayStation 2 game, almost with better graphics. And it's like this world is better than Cyberpunk. These NPCs are smarter than Cyberpunk. It's like it's insane. So I'm just thinking, I'm like, oh my god, like
It's
some
kind
of these old games are like going back to that idea where it's like we've lost the technology. Like maybe it's just a Rockstar thing, but God, some of this shit is so good still.
When I play like open world game, I go back and play. I go back and play Saints Row 2 a lot because that's like one of my favorite games of all time. And I'm like, damn, this game has so much like sauce in it. Fun co-op, a lot of fun
Oh,
side
yeah.
missions. Main story's good. Like, and then I saw what Saints Row went to today, and the remaster they were gonna do for 2 with the update, and like the one guy working on like the update passed away from like he never finished it despite like that was like his life work was to like get this like online fix or PC fix so people can play it now. But as I said, it's just like open. You see, we talk about open world slop where like there's like lifeless, but like yeah, we say GTA 4 and like my Saint George, like man, there's so much life here, like so much like
I
sauce in
know.
this world. I can go
So
into a
good.
mall and just like fuck around like on an ATV in the mall and like, oh, this is so fun.
Totally different game, but I played. I didn't play a lot of N64 games as a kid, but I played the game by Treasure called Mischief Makers, and like games like that are just so fucking fun and weird, and it doesn't feel like you really get games like that from big studios anymore. You have
I
to
was
find them like indie
No.
games.
I was
Yeah.
actually playing like an old wrestling game on the GameCube, and I'm like, man, this is so arcadey feely. Like I kind of miss like when these wrestling games could just be fun arcadey games that are trying to be like a simulator kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Like I can just like do funny like kick people like at a certain move and they just start bouncing. Like it's so funny. But like yeah, a lot of it now try to be like simulators, and that genre doesn't really exist for like sports games anymore. There's not like the
Just
arcadey
like
sports games
like
anymore.
fun games, man. Like going back where it's like every year it felt like a new like Tony Hawk game was like the Tony
That just
Hawk like
got
Underground
remastered.
2. Oh, this
Yeah.
I recently just
so
played
good.
through that like not too long ago, Tony Hawk Underground 2, and they're like,
Oh,
oh,
Thug 2 is so good, man. I
it's
love that
great.
game.
But like man, I mean replaying like man, some of these like unique vehicles that you play Steve-O on a mechanical horse, not control very well.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They were just like throwing shit at a wall. They were
Oh
just
yeah.
like, yeah, make it, put it in the game.
Even playing like old sports games, like the street sports games, they were so fun. You don't even have to be like a sports fan to really like enjoy them. And like, but now
Yeah.
it's all Madden and like the FIFA. It's like all about like microtransactions to get like your fantasy team, and it's just like sucks now.
Yeah.
There's
It
no
seems like
sauce.
it feels like the bar is like very low to where it's like if a good game comes out, it's a generational highest Metacritic thing ever when it's like
Yeah.
it's at the end of the day, it's just a really good game. And
The
the fact
craziest
is we're just
thing,
not getting that many.
it kind of a nostalgia thing, but like they're bringing back all like the backyard sports games. I'm not sure you ever played any of them, but like I used to play a bunch of them as a kid, and they see
Oh yeah,
very
backyard baseball, yeah.
the goat Pablo Sanchez is back, and like I actually saw a kid wear a shirt of him like real life. It was very funny. But like even got like the recent one, like I used to have like kid versions of like real baseball players, and like the most recent re-release has like got all but like 3 back, which is like crazy to think about.
We need games to have big head mode again.
Big head mode.
That's what we
True.
need.
I
Because
miss like
I'm thinking back to all the sports games and they all have big
Blitz.
head mode.
I want Blitz where I
Yeah.
can just tackle people on the ground and like pile drive them. Like I don't know. Yeah, there hadn't been like many sports. You have to wait for like an indie game to kind of come around to like
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the
capture that.
sports are just like the 2K and football and all that. But there was that one football game that just came out, Rematch. That's apparently
Never,
like
never
it's
heard of
very
that.
like arcadey, like FIFA. It's like
Hmm.
FIFA, but like it's sort of like
The
over the shoulder
Sifu
camera.
devs. The Sifu devs made
Might be
that one, I
them.
think. Oh, I think
Oh,
they
Yeah.
did do,
interesting.
but I heard it's like incredibly toxic to play.
Oh, I imagine.
Like, oh yeah, with soccer
I
fans,
saw
like
Northern Lion playing it. It looked pretty neat. But yeah.
Like,
Oh,
people saying it's
I
literally
am
by
old. I love old games. I'm an old man now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't even think it's a necessary like I like the old thing because I'm old. I think the old thing's just good.
yeah.
I think it's just that sometimes.
I think that is very true sometimes.
Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. When you go back and say, "Oh, some of this stuff is not controlled well."
Yeah. When I go back and play Ninja for the PS2, I'm like, this
Oh
is not
god.
good. Just like,
I Ninja.
I remember that was like
God.
that was like
Oh
back
my
in the day where
God.
it's like you go into the game store and the only judgment influencing your decision is how interesting the box art is in your
Yep.
10-year-old
Oh my God.
brain. Like no critic reviews, nothing. You just go in there and you just find like, I miss that. I miss
There
just like
was-
buying a game and not knowing anything about
And
it.
just being disappointed later.
No, I loved Ninja, man. I played the shit out of that game.
I had a case with that because like I used to have like a Hollywood videos by me, and like I used to rent games, like so many games. And you know, things he would buy, like you said, he'd like go buy the cover box for half of them, and like the one game had like best of E3, or like X Play said best shooter or best tactical game of E3. A game called Raven Squad, and the worst like first person RTS hybrid shooter for the Xbox 360, like. With horrible, like offensive voice acting, even like young me was like, "This is like too much for how shit of a game it is."
X
Like,
Play. That's a throwback.
never trust, especially 360 era slop. Like,
Yeah, especially all like the licensed stuff.
yeah, we don't really have the licensed movie games anymore. You don't get the King Kong game or like the X-Men Origins Wolverine game that are like better than like
You must have just
the
stopped being
movies.
profitable.
Yeah,
They're
I
be-
think
After a while,
like
it didn't
gamers
work
in
out.
general, like the market is a lot more picky. Like if you make a
Yeah.
mediocre game, it's not in the day where it's like if a mediocre game now, people just won't. No one will buy it.
Yeah.
I feel
Word
like
of mouth, especially with the internet now, really travels.
like going back to like Concord, like everyone heard that this game sucked and it peaked at what, like 600 players or something. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, like just no one bought that.
I mean, they also like spent like 30 minutes of like a PlayStation Direct showing this game that had a really fugly like art style.
Yeah, I think they
Like-
rubbed a lot of people the wrong way before it even came out too.
Like, yeah, and the fact, yeah, it's insane how, I mean, me and Jim were like talking about the other day, like games that like died very quickly and like
That new
people-
Remedy game, like DOA, man.
Oh wow! I didn't even know it was out.
That I like Control and Alan Wake, but they made this like friend slop sort of game
yeah.
where
That's
it's like
right.
left, but it's like, I mean, the blueprint's there. Like,
I mean,
make it like Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead 2 is
Oh.
like one of the greatest games ever made.
Well,
Still, like, has so many people playing it, but it
the
just flopped.
Back for Blood did so well. That
Oh my
vampire,
God.
what was that vampire one?
Did
that-
Back for Blood do so well?
No, he's
No.
joking.
Back for Blood did
Okay.
awful. There was like the vampire one by like the people from
The
That was
Arcane.
Arcane
that
did.
that made me so sad because
I think they were
fucking
like
loved
genuinely
Arcane
forced to make that game, and they just
Yeah.
didn't fucking want to.
And
Well, the Veilguard, the new Dragon Age game, there was a Jason Schreier came out with a really good article about that, where the game initially started out as like a Dragon Age single player game. Then EA forced them to
Redfall.
make it multiplayer. They forced them to make it multiplayer, and then it was only because of the Jedi Fallen Order games that they were able to convince them, like, hey, maybe we should make this DragonAge game single player. So for most of the game's development life, it was a fucking multiplayer game, and that's why it turned out as such a mess. There's so
Like,
many reasons, but
there was an old battle royale game that I loved called Rumbleverse. It was like a wrestling,
I remember that one.
and I loved it. And anyway, it died after like 2 seasons because it did have a really ugly art style, but the gameplay was so much fun. Like, and I miss it. I Ninja. Oh my god. I remember that box art. I probably had a Game Informer or magazine with
he's
that
like
in
a
it.
proto emoji.
Yeah, he's strange
You know
looking.
what's crazy? You remember that game Naughty Bear, Jim?
I do not remember the game.
It was
Naughty
a
Bear.
really
Let me look
crappy,
it up.
like, just like 360 slop game, and like for some reason
No.
it's in Dead by Daylight.
I'm not
That's like a
familiar. I've
skin.
never seen Naughty Bear before.
You've never seen Naughty Bear? That was like shit game to 101. Like 6 out of 10 out of like
It looks
101.
like a Sneak King style game.
Well, I have Sneak King on my
Sneak King.
gaming shelf over there.
I had the racing one.
I think I only had Sneak
What's that one
King.
called? Some mini kart
Big
racing?
bumping Sneak
Bumpkin was
King,
the
and
other
then the
one.
Pocket Bike Racer.
Are these? Do kids like know about these? Like, do the kids know about these games?
They probably watched like a Scott the Woz video about
Yeah, I
that.
was gonna say. There's probably like a
Imagine
peanut butter
going to
gamer
Burger
video.
King and getting a PS5 game today. That's
That'd be
crazy.
For like
crazy.
$6 too. They were cheap as
Yeah.
hell.
That is. How would you even get those? It wasn't included in a meal. You probably had to ask for it separate.
Yeah, I think you
had to get like a
buy it.
meal with it.
But those honestly might still have functioning online. I'm not sure, but I remember they were online games.
People still play certain 360 and like because the only way to play like I watch a lot of fighting games. Like people still play Third Strike Online Edition, which is only on 360 and PS3, and it still have a sizable community despite them only on those consoles.
Yeah,
Which
a
is
lot
crazy.
of the 360 games still have online. The
I
COD
think all the
games.
old Call of Duty still have their online up. Like
That'll be a sad day when it's like Modern Warfare 2's offline.
oh yeah, I mean they tried to re-release that or like remaster that, and people didn't like. And I fell off a Call of Duty forever ago.
That is the epitome of like laziness, where it's like, what do? We fucking steel ball run this shit. We start over from the beginning. We go
I just
Modern Warfare.
I just watched somebody in freaking like Warzone summon Cornholio from Beavis and Butthead to kick somebody in the balls and kill them, and I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
That game is a shadow of itself.
I expect this shit in Fortnite.
Yeah.
Not
But
for me. Games that are not for me.
yeah, Fortnite and like Apex were like the only like the last two like battle royales I really fucked with since Rumbleverse died.
Fortnite is like this incredible thing where it's like if someone tried to describe to you what Fortnite is today, like 10 years ago, it'd be like, I can't even imagine that existing. But it's a shame that like everything wants to be Fortnite. It's like just let Fortnite be Fortnite. You don't have to also be Fortnite.
No.
It's like perpetual lightning in a bottle. Oop.
Yeah.
No one can replicate Fortnite, but if Fortnite can just keep going.
Every game company wants to be like trace the trends. Or I gotta beat even Dead by Daylight's like supposed to be the the Fortnite for horror movies, like a lot of stuff like that. Like certain things are getting away with being that because there's nothing really else to take that.
Yeah.
I think like Mortal Kombat's becoming like that, where like they're just have a more guest characters than actual like lore characters, and that kind of like pissed off a lot of the player base because a lot of them like the characters more so than the guests.
Yeah, the crossovers are just like that momentary hype.
Yeah, just to come back to our game, new people, casual.
Negan in Tekken 7. That was kind of cool though.
That was crazy. That was crazy because it was so random.
Yeah.
Like it's more so like Clive is in there because I feel like he was supposed to be a Soul Calibur character, but Soul Calibur's dead right now, so like they had to throw. I can go off a lot about fighting game guest characters, but
all right, fellas, I've had all I could take.
Yeah, me
enough
too.
root beer talk. Yeah, you down to a root beer. But all right, should we wrap it up then, Jim? Plug.
Yeah. Thank you so much
Xforts.
for joining us.
Anything you want to plug?
Guys. Wonderful chat. I'm off social media. I'm Jim Maxon, so
Hell
just
yeah.
sub to my YouTube.
I literally only use it just to post Kamen Rider watching updates, which is I know it's for me just to keep track of like my like
your personal diary.
status. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I think the older you get, it just becomes like more exhausting.
Yeah, I don't blame you. All right, and I guess if you like the episode, please like, subscribe. If you want your name shouted out of Jokakaka episodes, leave whatever you feel comfortable leaving on our Patreon, and we'll have your name shout out. And I think that's it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much and have a great day.
Bye bye.